I think that we are now being sent to the internet.
Ah, man, you look really cool with that one headphone you're in.
Oh, is that the cool thing to do now?
Yes.
I'm not
Trendsetter.
I'm not seeing any dropped frames. We've learned so much from our past
On YouTube.
on YouTube.
So I
Yeah.
was going to say we streamed on Twitch last night. On YouTube, it's been 11 months since our llast stream. And we
Hey
were at
guys.
50,000 subscribers at the time. So
Oh,
a
and
lot
here
has
comes
happened.
the chat.
Hi, everybody.
How are you guys? 2 years of YouTube.
Woo! It's crazy. Hi,
Do
everybody.
you like this fancy background that we made for you guys?
Yes. We folded giant sheets of paper to make this origami backdrop. It's
That's our next
definitely
video.
not a green screen. Oh, man. Hi, everybody.
It's definitely not.
Man,
A green
Susie the
screen.
Frog Queen, all of our videos. That's impressive. Hey, no, don't show our secrets. What are you doing? We're exposed. Actually, here's the desk. If anyone has watched
Yeah.
the video from a couple videos ago. Oh, the lights aren't on.
The lights?
These lights.
Oh, yeah, here, let me turn them on real quick.
Woo.
There you go.
That
I like how
actually-
it's like actually showing like our other desk in the foreground right there.
Hey, you
All
know.
right, here, let's bring this back to professional quality right here.
It's kind of cool seeing everything.
There you go. Look at that. Hey, I can do it either way, whichever way you guys want.
Yeah, Brian, I'm surprised the background isn't just of our cat too, because that's been my request since day one. Is just a live stream of our cat in the background at all times. The problem is like she moves around.
She moves
and
around,
then,
yeah.
You know.
I actually thought like what we could do is like it wouldn't be live, but we could like do like a 2-hour recording of our cat sleeping, and then we could just play it in the background as a video.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a possibility. If you guys want that, we can do that sometime.
Yes. 2-hour live stream while our cat sleeps in the background and we answer questions.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think the last live stream that we did was about
Morgan,
a
thank
year
you so
ago.
much.
Was it about a year ago that we did our last
It
live
was 11
stream?
months.
And we
On
were
YouTube.
at 40,000
40 or 50 or something.
subscribers, and now we're past 250,000 guys.
No, we're not. That's 250.
I'm stretching here. You got maybe during this live stream we can get it. We can get that extra 25K we need to get to 250,000.
That's not what this live stream is about.
No, it's not. It's just to celebrate
Yeah.
2 years of making content together.
Yeah.
So
Oh, thank you, Don.
we want the cat. We're hearing chants for cat.
I know. Okay, well, you know what? While Evan checks on the stream health, I
Yeah.
could see if she's nearby. There are no promises because she does not like it when we live stream because we're too excitable.
I'm clapping too right now. Look at that sync. Look at that sync. We've been trying to get like the audio and video synced properly for a while now. Not to get into technical boringnesses, but we're recording on these 2 mics that are going to this mixer right here, and that mixer is sending the audio signal up to the camera that we have there. The camera is exporting the signal via HDMI back over to this computer right here, where they're meshed and synced as one, and then sent to you guys. It took a while of finagling to figure that out, but I'm really happy that we have that now. Now that she's gone, we want you to rap for everybody.
I like big cats and I cannot lie.
Oh wait, let's just zoom it in, and here you can move to the center screen. There you go, guys. The supervisor is not
She
pleased.
She just blends in.
Her name is Moki. That's her main name. But we
Yeah.
call her
We call her
like
Jube, Juby, Juba, Dusty.
Dusty Mo, Dusty Juba.
Dusty
We
Bear.
combine them all.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna step on the keyboard.
Don't step on the keyboard. You can come here. Oh,
Oh,
well,
oh,
she
just
might be
stepped-
chatting to you guys right now.
she
She just walked across the keyboard. And she's done with us.
Well, a brief guest appearance by our supervisor. She was
appearance.
just checking things out, making sure that things were up to her standard qualities. And I guess we passed inspection. Yeah,
So-
she's just extremely fluffy.
Yeah, very fluffy. Big ol' floof.
So, do you guys have any questions for us to answer after 2 years of figuring things out as we go? Because we still don't feel like we have things figured out.
Yeah, no,
I
definitely.
mean, we've been gaining skills and leveling up in all sorts of different areas, but it's not finalized yet.
Yeah.
Okay, what did we study in
Oh.
college? I studied
Steven,
engineering.
thank you so much. Yeah, Evan studied engineering. I was a marketing major, but then
Yeah.
I went into graphic design after that. So,
So what was our hardest video? Probably the propane cannon.
hardest video to like make and
Yeah.
edit.
Yeah, because that was that we
Probably.
stretched ourselves a ton during that video.
Yeah, probably. Jorge, thank you so much. I've been seeing all your comments. Oh, you're moving to Austin. That's awesome. Yeah, maybe we'll see you at like some kind of Texas event or something.
Yeah, we missed South by Southwest. Which
I know.
It's like I didn't even know it was coming up, and all of a sudden it was just like gone. Yeah.
How's the how to build your YouTube channel video coming along?
No, it's not
It's not.
scrapped. It's not scrapped.
It's
we
not
are
scrapped.
we are going to do a how to YouTube. But what we did is we did a test recording. So we had a script. We went to a coffee shop and we sat down and we wrote a script for our very first video. And then we did a dry read of it, just running through the points. And it was 50 minutes. And that was way too long for just like a straight up talking video. I mean, we can try to make things entertaining, but we can't just like talk for 50 minutes and make that entertaining.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, well, it
like
would be
if we
even
made it
longer,
entertaining,
yeah.
it'd be like an hour and 20 because we'd do skits and all sorts of other things.
why is the background more tan than Caitlin? I ask myself that every day.
I can change the settings. I can tint us different
I
colors.
thought the background made me look more tan.
I think it's the blue light. You know, I could probably change the hue of this light right there via the app, and then I can add some color to us.
Have you ever thought of starting a gaming channel?
We
We-
have one.
We have a very tiny one that we don't tell anyone about.
Evan and Kaylin Gaming.
It's called Evan and Caitlin Gaming. Prepare to not see very much there.
Okay, no, look, now we're super tan.
Oh, so tan.
So tan. I mean,
Yeah,
more
Ever-
tan.
ever since we started streaming on Twitch, we were like, you know what, we really like playing games. I mean, we stream workshop stuff too, like for the projects, but we also stream games. So we just thought we would start one on the side and not tell anyone about it until maybe it got bigger.
Yeah. But you know, it's a lot to edit. Like, I think that we might need an editor for the gaming channel because it's just a
Miranda,
lot of
thank you.
footage to go through.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you. I just want to say
It's okay.
thank you to people.
So how old are we? We are both 30.
We're not. We're
We're not?
31.
No! Ah, how did that happen? I guess another year went by.
Yep.
My gosh. And there are more fire videos planned, Dante. It's we have a few. One, we're gonna do alcohol ink again, but we're gonna set it on
Yeah.
fire.
We learned from people in the comments that you can set it on fire, and I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
One question from Dawn. She says, I've been married for 11 years and I have no idea how you two don't kill each other on camera. How do you manage the video making process with your relationship?
We did a whole podcast on that. Working
did.
together. Let's look
But-
at what episode number that is.
Yeah, I think because like we started the channel so that we could work together more. And so even though sometimes we hit frustrations and snags and stuff like that, the whole, we just have to remind each other the whole reason we started this is so we could work together. And I feel like snags and struggles are actually easier because we're doing it together because we can like share the frustration and vent to each other. So for us, it actually like makes it less frustrating doing it together.
Yeah, and that was episode 3 of the Evan and Caitlin podcast where we talk for 50 minutes about that
Yeah.
if you're interested. But I think that another thing is like recognizing how much better things are together. If I was just doing this myself, I wouldn't even be doing YouTube if it wasn't for Caitlin. I mean, we make better things together. The wins are better together, and the losses and struggles are less bad.
Yeah.
So it just makes everything better.
Yeah. Cub
Yeah.
Studio says, I volunteer as tribute as an editor. We actually did try hiring out a little bit of editing, and it worked really well. Like, he was super great. I think the thing is, one, I have a lot of control issues about editing, but mainly, like, we realized that we were still in the process of figuring out our editing style, and it wasn't set, and it was hard to pass it off without really knowing what we wanted yet. So now it's back to me doing all the editing. But
Yeah.
I like it. I like editing. I think it's cool.
So any Texas meetups planned? We actually did a meetup at a Rockler store at some point in the past. And fingers crossed, there's an event that we go to, or we've gone to the past 2 years, called Workbench Con. And it's a really great meeting of makers and YouTube content creators and stuff.
And apparently the next
Apparently.
one might be in Texas.
Yeah,
But
so
that's like
if-
a year from now.
Let's like bother them on Twitter and Instagram saying, make it in Texas.
Don't send the hordes.
don't send the hordes. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. But it would be cool if it was in Texas. Dream collabs really just depends on who we've been watching recently. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed in our recent videos, we have been binging a little bit of Simply Nailogical.
I would love to collab with Christine. Ban!
Ban. They just seem like such genuine, fun people, and like
Our collabs are usually based on like
people we want to hang out with.
Yeah, people,
just like
people we
that
want to
seem
hang out
like
with. Yeah.
fun to just
Hang
be
out
with.
with, yeah.
You know, because I mean, this seems kind of not sad. It seems it's an interesting thing to observe. Since we've started YouTube, we just haven't been making as much time for like our real life friends or like our real world friends. We just make content all the time, go to events, and we've been seeing like
Our YouTube
friends and
more
other
than,
content
like,
creators
real
more
life.
than
Yeah.
So it's just like slowly merging our life and our online world even more, which isn't bad. It's been
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah.
Oh, Threadbanger would be awesome too. We
That'd be
actually
fun.
got to hang out with them up
We
in
did. In Asheville.
Asheville.
Yeah. During
they're
one
awesome
of our
people.
other collabs.
Yeah, we were
With
at
someone who happened to live in Asheville. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the happy second anniversary. Congratulations, Brent.
Mhm.
That's
And
awesome.
thank you, Jorge. We'll let you know if we need some side photography. We probably should spend more time on that.
So Will Wash, I'm sorry about mispronouncing your name.
Oh, Evan's gonna be the worst at
I am bad.
mispronouncing
I am
names.
bad. So they suggested, Will suggested Modern Rogue, and we actually have done 3 videos with the Modern Rogue guys.
We have, yeah. Well,
They're all on Modern Rogue's channel.
yeah, they're all on their channel. At the time, we didn't really have the like capacity to do videos on our channel and their channel, so we were just we'll just do stuff on y'all's channel.
And it was so great.
it was super fun.
They're really just go through videos so much. And one of the awesome things about collaborations is, excuse me, we learn so much
Mm-hmm.
looking at other people's processes. And I think that, sorry to plug the podcast again, but it's just hard to expand as much as I want to about these things without turning it into a podcast. But in
Just do a
episode
live stream podcast.
in episode 1, that'd actually be a good idea. But in
would be a good
episode
idea.
1 of our podcast, we actually talk about all of the different YouTubers that have influenced us as we've changed and as we've grown and as we've like watched their videos and picked up tips from them, or we've met with them and watched them create content and all of the tips that we've picked up along the way. So I think in episode 1, we talk a lot more about the specific channels, the specific tips, and we kind of go into it at more depth. It'd be hard to kind of, if we mention one person, we're gonna have to mention all of them. Then it's gonna turn into like a big thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you get a sponsor? Someone asks. I saw it and then it just was lost.
Then it was lost. Yeah.
So we're actually going to do a whole video about that, or no, a whole podcast.
We usually reach out to sponsors.
Yeah, we do. We
now
reach out to
that
sponsors
now
a
that
lot.
we've grown some, they reach out to us too. But we just reach out, like we DM them on Instagram and Twitter, and we find like marketing emails on LinkedIn and
Yeah.
stuff, and we just message them and say like, "Hey, we have a cool video idea." We always like pitch a video idea.
Yeah.
Because I think that helps them. It gives them like more of a reason to say yes. Rebecca Graves, meet and greet near Chicago. We will be in.
We'll be in. Where
Wait.
are we going to be?
Where?
We're going to be in a place.
Oh no, we're gonna be in Toledo.
Not Toledo.
Yeah, no,
Is
not
it?
Toledo.
No, not Toledo.
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
It's another thing that starts with a C, not Chicago. Dang it. Oh man, I thought we were gonna be in Chicago next month.
So we're going to be
Cleveland
at
next month.
Spring Make Show in Cleveland, Ohio. And on one of
That's
the
probably
days,
the next event.
I'm not sure if like the agenda is out yet, but we are going to be doing a meet and greet at some point somewhere. That's
Cleveland.
That's all I got. I mean, I'm trying to look up the schedule right now, but I don't want to like bog down the whole
Yeah, no, it's not.
live stream
it's not
about
worth
this.
it.
But we are going to be doing a meet and greet with a whole bunch of other really awesome content creators there.
I am not on a booster seat, but my chair is all the way up. My office chair and Evan's chair is all the way down. That's how we do it.
But Caitlin actually isn't
A lot of
like,
people think I'm
a
short.
tiny person,
I'm like
you know?
5'6". I'm
Yeah.
like a normal sized lady person.
Lady person. Good words.
But no, Evan's like 6'5". He's just super tall.
I just
And-
make people look small.
And
Yeah.
everything is in our workshop is like Evan height, which is why sometimes I have to stand on boosters to reach things.
So, Mr. Nicholas, you haven't missed much. We're only 17 minutes into the live stream, so not bad. Yeah. I am not a giant, but I am fairly tall. It is weird though. Like I don't notice height too much at all, just because almost everyone's
It's shorter than you.
shorter than me. But when I have to look up at someone, it's weird.
Yeah, like when you run into someone taller
Yeah,
every
when I
now
run
and
into
then.
someone taller every now and then, it is
Yeah.
a strange thing.
Yeah.
Sawyer, do your homework after this live stream. No.
Kirk, hope you feel better soon. Oh man. Okay, so what's our strongest motivation? Dale is asking.
Okay, so our strongest motivation, we have a lot to say about this because we have thought about it a lot, and it's what keeps us going through any like tough times or any setbacks or anything like that. But it's really this goal that we have long term of what we want our life to be, what we want our day to day to be. And we hit days that are just ideal every now and then, but we just want to craft our life so that it's set up for the future of just being ideal and kind of the ideal life that we want. We want to spend all of our time together.
Yeah, we literally do. So when people are like, don't you get tired of each other? We're like, no, we just want to be together all the time. It's true.
So we want to spend all day together. We want to be creating things we want to be creating things. And it's especially good if they're tangible, you know?
Yeah.
So like, and a video and the thing we make are both tangible things. Like we have the clock that we made up there, and that just brings us so much joy.
We have the desk that we made
we have the
right
desk.
here.
We have like the physical things
We
that
have
bring
some
us
art
joy.
we made right here.
But also it's like, you know, seeing people watching our videos and even rewatching them ourselves and, you know, making people happy. That's another like huge motivation for what we do. So we put our time into these things and we end up with 2 products that like we made. And that just is so satisfying to me. Like, it's like that is like an instant, like, cause we know time is really valuable. We have a hard time spending it. And both of these things, creating those 2 things makes us just feel like we spent our time really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I kind of went on about
No,
that.
that's a good answer. And I was also trying to gather new questions.
Yeah, I'm just answering. Like
in.
you're just like setting me up for the questions, and I'm just like stealing them all.
A couple people have asked, Soundcats and Chuck Berg have asked if we've had any injury accidents in the workshop. I don't think we've had anything serious. At work, you crushed a foot.
Oh yeah, at work I was doing something with air pressure and water pressure, and
you're at your full-time job.
Yeah, someone released, or it might have been I think I told someone to release a valve before everything was depressurized, and a giant motor fell on my foot, and it didn't break, which, you know, that's nice.
Yeah.
I think the funny thing is, I think my serious injuries on this channel, making stuff for this channel, have been 3D printing related. Anyone who has dealt with 3D prints, like removing the supports and crunching them and stuff like that, like, it's nothing bad. I just have cut myself up with 3D prints, which is like
It's like the
silly to
nerdiest
admit.
injury.
It's pretty nerdy. It's pretty nerdy. I mean, you guys saw with the self-watering concrete planter how much I was
Oh yeah, you
struggling
did
with that.
cut your hand.
I cut my hand. I was
trying
like
to remove
bleeding
the
on the mold.
Yeah, there was blood on the mold.
Oh
Yeah.
man, yeah.
Yeah, but nothing like too major. Have we ever, TB Harness asked, have we ever thought about making cold processed soap? I haven't. I've seen.
But soap molds are really easy to make.
Yeah,
you can
soap
use
molds are really
silicone, you
easy
can
to
use
make.
plastic. We have the vacuum former.
It would be fun. This is kind of related to another question by P Family Do. If we ever think about getting into other mediums, like I think when you start a maker channel, there's sometimes like a weird divide between like crafting channels and maker channels, and if you aren't one, like the audience of one doesn't necessarily like the content of the other, and so a lot of people won't mix them. Like you're either crafting or you're making, it seems.
It does seem like there's a strange divide.
We've fallen more on the side of making typically, but lately we've tried to bring in stuff that is like slightly more like maybe on crafting, like some of the art projects, like the clocks we did recently, and some things like that. And so I think it would be fun to continue to explore and bring in that side of things. So, something like soap making could be something we try.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or candle making.
Yeah. Or
we
more
could totally
art stuff. I want to do
stuff.
the Bob Ross challenge so freaking bad.
Yeah. And I think it's literally going to be like a face-off between
like a face-off
Caitlin
Bob
and I.
off.
And we we won't be able to see each other's canvases.
I really want to do that.
So it's like, I'm over here, you're over here. We're both painting on our easels and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how long have we been together? Amy Kirby asks. We have been together for 8 years?
When did we start dating? 2011.
2011.
So yeah, we've been together for 8 years, but we met in 2006.
Yeah,
so we were friends for like
right at the beginning of college.
5 years before we started dating.
Yeah. I mean, there's a long story. We tell that again
in a podcast.
The podcast is great because you can tell these long format stories. It's the episode 005, how we met, and we tell the whole story about how we met, and all of the shenanigans behind that.
Yeah.
005.
Another question from Do It. Hey guys, we're a tiny maker channel. How do you go about setting up so many collabs so early with all these big names? So I think going to events, meeting people in person, and like becoming friends with people, whether it's online or even better in person, is a great way to do collabs. Like everyone we've done a collab with, we were friends with them first.
Yeah.
And I think
that's like one of the main reasons why we want to do the collab, because there's no guarantee that you're going to grow or anything like that. Who knows?
Yeah, because we've done some collabs where we grew and some where it didn't make a difference at all.
That's totally fine. That's perfect. It's all about like learning new things and hanging out with fellow people and like kind of bonding over all of the things that only content creators go through in a way. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just fun. And yeah, I think if you do a collab only to grow, it's going to show in the collab. Like you're not going to have chemistry, but if you collaborate with people you're friends with and you happen to grow, awesome. And if not, you still got to hang out with friends. So
yeah. And we have chatted with Alec about another collab at some point.
Yeah.
Because we do want to do more forging. We do want to do more metalworking in general.
Yes, it's so cool. I want to use the power hammer again.
Like spending those few days with Alec has made us so much more confident about metalworking in general. And for those of you guys who don't know Alec Steele, he's a YouTuber and a blacksmith. He does Damascus crazy things.
Yeah,
and
he's like has such good energy.
Such good energy.
He's awesome.
But also, I mean, we talk about it in the How We've Changed, but he really inspired us to film for what we're going to edit for. So his whole creative process is so smart too. And he's just really set himself up for long-term success. So
yeah,
lots to learn there.
Some people are saying we should collab with Bobby Duke Arts. I think we should. I think that'd be super fun.
Yeah.
So we're both in Texas.
Yeah.
We should totally do that. Yeah.
It would be interesting to see how the styles would mix. Because he has a very unique style.
Yes, he does.
And we could maybe be characters in his skits or something.
Yeah.
But I think it would be kind of hard because you had to think about all those logistics of the collab.
Yeah, like merging your styles.
Merging your styles and stuff.
Some people's styles work well with bringing in other people. Like
I think that we can easily bring in almost anyone.
Ours work well because our video style is just like we just put up the camera and we just film what happens.
Yeah, let's tell the story as it goes. And I think that, we've talked with Bobby about how long his videos take, and he puts a lot of time and effort into
all his pets. Yeah.
He puts a lot of time and effort into crafting his videos so that they're the proper mix of entertainment, story, and instruction. And we have a podcast with Bobby too. Sorry, we
did a podcast with Bobby. Yeah. But yeah, and that's something that we think a lot about too, is balancing like being entertaining, but also including some information about the project we're doing and
Yeah.
making sure people can kind of follow along and maybe pick up some tips if they want to tackle a similar project, but not
Yeah.
getting like too bogged down in the nitty gritty details.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. All right. So ID asks, the first machine you would buy for your workshop. I think that that's always a hard question, and that's a question we get a lot. But I think you should start with the project you want to tackle. Choose like a realistic project that you can take on, that you just are so excited about, that you're so driven to see to completion, and then get the tools for that, and then just kind of grow your tool collection as you take on more projects. I think the most versatile tools are a drill, a jigsaw, or a circular saw, and a driver, like, you know, a powered screwdriver. And I think that that'd be enough to get you started on all sorts of very, very substantial projects, you know. Maybe the Kreg pocket hole system, so you can join things together easily.
Favorite channels that are completely unrelated to yours. Most of our favorite channels are actually completely unrelated to ours. They're not maker channels. So like I really like Jenna Marbles and Simply Nailogical. Gosh, what else? Oh, we like some of the Bon Appetit channel. Like we watch It's Alive with Brad, and we watch the Claire series where she makes like gourmet junk food. That's a really good one. Like Philip DeFranco. We watch some PewDiePie. We watch a lot of it is kind of more mainstream YouTube.
Yeah, and I think that we get a lot of inspiration from that and stuff too. I mean, I think that in the beginning we watched a lot of makers.
We did. We watched more maker channels in the beginning, and we still do watch some maker channels, but it almost feels more like research sometimes.
Yeah, and I think that we've talked about this a little bit more in the past of like some of the reasons why we're not doing as like 100% instructional content as much anymore. But I think one of the main reasons why is just trying new things and having fun is obviously like a little bit more fun, less pressure, but also we don't feel like we're experts enough to instruct people on certain things. I mean, we had one video that we just took down because we showed something unsafe, and that was kind of an informative video for us because we were trying to instruct people and help people out, but we just weren't good enough yet. You know? I don't know.
Yeah, I think taking away the pressure of like being expert enough to instruct someone allows us to try a bunch of new stuff that we might not have tried before. Like we did a welding project like a month ago or so, and it was our first time welding by ourselves. And like we might not have put up that project if we were trying to be instructional about it, but since we weren't, we could just be like,
we're trying things out.
We're trying things.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing that we really like, and we've heard some good feedback on, showing the reality of what something is like the first time you try it, or showing the fails and stuff. We definitely want to like show people that you can make good stuff even if you do mess up or if you do fail, and you somehow end up with things that work. I don't know, over time.
Yeah.
We got to.
Sana says, haven't stopped watching Jenna Marbles since you showed me over Thanksgiving.
Nice. So we got a question from Nightmare. Do you like horror movies? Caitlin.
I really like horror movies.
wait. Can I do something real quick?
Yes.
I really like horror movies too.
I really like horror movies too. We don't have our headphones on. I don't know if the voice thing works.
I think it did.
MB asked, do your friends and family know about your channel? They do. Everyone knew before we even started it, because one of the reasons that I think we were able to start it, not able to, but one of the reasons that we didn't put it off is because like we told literally everybody, hey, we're starting a YouTube channel. Hey, we're starting a YouTube channel. It's going to be on this date. We said it March 24th. At this time, we are going to launch it. We announced it on Instagram, told all our family and friends and work people. So like everyone knew before it even happened, actually, which a lot of people don't do. I think a lot of people just kind of start it on the side quietly and see where it goes before they tell everyone.
So 3D Printing Kid, will you be at Bay Area Maker Faire? We will.
Yes, we will.
We have, I'm not sure we have our tickets yet, but we're kind of committed.
I mean, we're doing a talk.
We're doing a talk. Yeah. So we will be there. And that'll be really fun. So that's So yeah, the two events that we've committed to this year so far are Spring Make and Bay Area Maker Faire.
Yeah, those
that'll
are
be
the
pretty
two
cool.
next ones, and everything else is too far away to commit to yet.
All right. What recommendations do you have for bubble-free epoxy resin projects? Thin pores. Get a slow curing epoxy, because the faster it is, the more prone it is to bubbles. The thinner you are, the thinner the pore, the easier it is to get no bubbles. And I think that's pretty much it. I mean, if you really want to go bubble free, you can get a pressure pot, which we actually have, and we're going to be using it in an upcoming video. Vacuum chamber pulls out the bubbles, but it ends up like bubbling it. If you get a pressure pot, you compress the bubbles down to nothing, and it looks like there's no bubbles, even though there might have been some bubbles at some point. They just disappear. So that's a lot. That was the long answer. Sorry.
We have a couple. Oh yeah, related to that. Sharon Figments Made is asking what's the next resin project. We have a couple on the plate. I don't know which one is next. Should
we can
talk
pull
about
up the schedule.
No. should we say the ice cream one?
Oh, the ice cream one is kind of fun out there. There's also the cubes.
Yeah, we'll say the
we
cubes.
have a lot of resin ones.
I feel like the cubes is more likely to happen because the ice cream one may not work. Yeah. So we got these little square molds, and we're just gonna make like
banana.
Banana? What?
Sorry.
Did someone tell you to say banana? Ban. We're gonna do like, I don't know what the number will be, but like 30 or 50 or some insert number here, things you can mix into resin. Basically, we're just gonna go like out to the park and to the grocery store and find a bunch of different stuff and see if it works in resin. So like, can you put a slice of orange in resin? Can you put a bunch of acorns in resin? Can you put, I don't know, sprinkles in resin? We're gonna try a bunch of different things.
Whole bunch of things.
So that should be pretty fun.
It's going to be a really great experimentation video that we can learn from and take those lessons into new projects and stuff.
We have a couple questions about our house. Jake Allen asked, have you done a house tour before, and are you going to do any huge home renovations? And then Alito asked, do you plan on staying in your current house for a while or moving to a bigger one? So we haven't done a house tour just because our house is often in chaos. Like whatever area we just did a project in, looks good. So like, you know, we did the laundry room renovation, and the laundry room still looks pretty good, but like whatever other areas there are, they're neglected. We're already growing out of our workshop, and we can't expand it where we are. We can't like build an expansion onto the house. So eventually we might move. So we're probably not going to do any like huge major renovations on this house, but if we move, we'd probably buy a place that's a bit of a fixer-upper so that we can do big renovations and customize it the way we want to. So like maybe in the far future.
So we've gotten a few questions about whether we're going to make an Instagram for our cat. We have thought about it. It would be pretty funny, but the main problem is everything we take on, we especially Caitlin, she feels like pressure to finish and keep up with and everything.
Do you want some tea?
I do want some tea. And I think that the main thing with everything that we have going on, we can barely keep up with what we have. So adding another thing in would be dangerous.
Yeah. Maybe we'll just post more pictures over to our main channel or main Instagram. Have we thought about getting more pets? Man, I want more cats all the time. I have to fight the urge constantly, but I don't think the supervisor would get along well with other animals.
She hasn't in the past.
She's not in the past.
We have no indications that she would.
Yeah, we've had friends like bring pets over just to kind of see how she would get along, but she like loves us, but like other humans, other animals, she's like,
she ignores.
No, please leave. So probably not. Make an Instagram for Caitlin's beard. Yes.
So will we move to LA? I don't think so. I just don't see that happening so much.
It's super expensive there.
It's really expensive.
Texas is very cheap.
I mean, we really like California weather in general. Both of us have spent a lot of time in California. Both of us have lived in California in the past. But Texas is just really cheap. I think that we might just stay in Texas, maybe move out of the city a little bit.
So we can get more land and do whatever we want.
And do what we want. Yeah, because for us, I mean, the majority of our time is spent in our place of work and living. So it just makes sense to get the most bang for your buck, but also be close enough to the city for modern conveniences and shopping and everything.
Basically,
like that.
We need like a hardware store and a H-E-B.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it.
Yeah. So we'll probably stay in Texas. Do we have hobbies? Eddie's asking, do we have hobbies outside of what we post on YouTube? I mean, we probably, well, in our past lives, we had hobbies. We don't really have time for hobbies these days. Like, we used to do a lot more art and play more video games. So we're trying to find ways to incorporate that into the channel. That's why we've been doing more art in the videos and why we started streaming on Twitch, so that we can like play video games and trick ourselves into thinking we're being productive.
Yep. So, but I mean, I think that is just, it is working, tricking ourselves into thinking we're productive.
Yeah.
We're doing it. We're playing video games again, which is nice.
Yeah, it's super fun.
One thing I would like to do more.
represent.
HEB is the best. But one thing I think I would like to do more is work out more. And that's, I think, the one thing we still need to add back into our life. We need to work out more.
We're very bad about working out. We do go on walks.
We go on walks.
They're usually at like midnight because we can't sleep because we've been
And that's where we have
late.
our meetings.
Yeah, we have walk meetings.
Yeah.
So we go on walks. That's something.
Yeah, it's something.
How long did you work multiple jobs before going full time, and how did you get the money to start your own business? That's two different questions. But kind of related. We started the channel while we were still working full time, so our full time jobs funded like the tools we needed to buy, the cameras we needed to buy, and we do a video where we go into a little bit more detail. We basically like slowly phased out of our full-time jobs, maybe over the period of like a year and a half, a year.
I think at least a year.
Yeah, it was a little over a year. Where we went from full-time to part-time to consulting hourly, and until we knew that the channel could sustain itself.
Yeah. And I mean, we didn't fully transition away from our jobs until we were making enough money on YouTube that our bank account wasn't going to go down when we switched. So we didn't actually have to invest that much money in our channel at all.
Yeah.
Because throughout the whole transition, our bank account stayed fairly flat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
so
there were a few months when we traveled a lot more, like to events or collabs or trips or stuff.
Yeah.
Travel is the thing that like dipped us down a little bit, but
that
overall
was
it was pretty flat.
That was another reason we kept our full-time jobs, is because we wanted to be able to travel to events, to travel for collabs. Yeah. And we knew it would be less stressful if we had our full-time jobs still. Money-wise, I mean, it's more stressful time-wise.
But also, I think that we're going to do a whole, I hate to keep on saying podcast, but we're going to try to do a whole podcast episode, 50 minutes, about monetization, how we started like monetizing all the different revenue streams, what our revenue looks like right now in terms of percentages, and then advice we have on people who want to take this on and everything, because we were making enough to do this as our full-time job at 80,000 subscribers, which is a lot lower than I see a lot of people going full-time. And I think it's because we set up all of those revenue streams all parallel, all at the same time,
early
on.
Clarence Christian, thank you.
So what engineer is Evan? I mechanical engineer by education, but I went into like manufacturing and testing and design in my job.
So I'm just laughing at all the comments about how I'm the same color as the background.
I look like really tan, and you look so white. Maybe
it's just me being my true self. This is how I am.
Here, you know what? Let's do this.
You haven't turned the LEDs
I turned the
red.
LEDs red. Maybe this will help boost.
It's just is what it is. This is the true me.
Yeah, it does help a little bit. Here's white. Here's red. So there you go. Just a little bit.
How often do we have builder's block? We really don't get builder's block. I think our issue is more that we get frustrated because there's not enough time to do all the ideas we want to do. And I think when you're doing this full time, your brain is just in constant idea mode. So every day I feel like we're adding ideas, and that list grows faster than we can check them off.
The main problem that we face is not being able to get to all of the ideas that we want. We struggle with that all the time because also we have our videos scheduled out between 2 months and 6 months out. Because we work with sponsors and we want to like get on the same page with them and all of that, so there's not that last minute struggle and panic.
So many people are not used to your beardlessness.
I've seen a lot of comments about the beard. I was going to address it at some point. For those of you who didn't see the Instagram story, I was trying to gently trim it because my beard was out of control. It was getting real beardy. Much. And Caitlin was dropping very subtle hints like, Evan, you should shave your beard. Like daily. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to shave it. So I was, any guy who's shaved their beard, it's like you have different levels of the beard trimmer. So it's like I was doing one level here and I was like doing like another level down there. And I was doing some area at 0, like the no guard at all. And I forgot that it was that. I set it down to do something else and I picked it up and I went, just like a huge stripe.
Like
racing stripe along the side of my cheek. And then I was like, well, I got to even it out. You just got to do the whole thing. And I feel like that's something I do all the time. I just try to take a little bit off the beard. And then it just grows and grows and grows. And I end up with no beard.
Well, but this was like the most
This was the most it's ever happened in years. Caitlin hasn't seen me beardless since we started dating, almost.
Yeah. Jamie, thank you so much. Oh, man. So, the chats are coming. I'm sorry if we are missing some chats. We're doing our best, you guys.
Yeah, I kind of like pick a place. I just scroll to like a random place.
And then I just
see what questions are there. Because I even have a tinier screen than you. You can see like a longer chat history. So, I'm trying to manage all the different things.
Do you think a jigsaw table and circular table, I guess circular saw and table saw are great options for beginners? I think circular saw is the most versatile.
Because you can cut unlimited length. And also, like if you get a circular saw and then like a circular saw attachments that lets you rip long distances and stuff, you can make your own, you can buy some. There's a lot of different ways you can cut long lengths of things with just a circular saw.
Foxman, thank you. Foxman asks, did you guys go to Makerspaces in the beginning when the price of tools were too much? We went to Makerspaces for welding in the beginning, but it was more like to learn how to do it before we invested in the machines to figure it out. And that was actually before we started our channel. I just did that. That was like a birthday present for you.
Yeah, you're right.
Like welding classes.
And then for some reason,
we went in August, which was not smart.
In Houston, which is just
because there's no AC and you have to wear so many layers of stuff, and it was like 100 degrees. We could have gone at any time. There wasn't like a class at a specific date. It was just like come during any month, and we went in August. So
yeah. So Amar John asks, what is our next project? It is going to be another door project.
Yeah, we're like making over our pantry door, our closet doors. We have a his and hers closet, so we're making over the doors.
And we just wanted to refresh the room some. And initially, honestly, we were thinking of doing a whole accent wall.
Yeah.
And it was kind of intimidating.
Super tall ceilings, and so we were like,
tall, like 20 feet up or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's at an angle, and cutting all of the things, like we were like, oh, we'll just do an accent wall. But then also we have popcorn on the wall, so it's like, do we do panels? Do we do strips? How do we manage like all of that? And the logistics of it started building up. So one reason why we can do a video every week is we spend a lot of time being realistic about our capabilities. So it's like this desk, for example. I'm going to zoom out for anyone who wasn't at the beginning of the stream, who hasn't seen it. So this desk we built right here, we could have like done wood joinery on all of it. Let's do like it would have been cool to do finger joints on all of it and make it all out of wood and plane it all and get it all perfectly flat and all these other things. But we had to be realistic with what we're capable of. So that's why we went with aluminum T-slot aluminum framing for the skeleton of it, and we assembled that in 30 minutes. And then most of the work was about the tabletop. And that's what was interesting to us, so focus on that. So we really try to do a lot of pre-planning about the project. And I don't know what the question was.
It was about like what is our next project?
Yeah, so that's why we're doing doors instead of a huge wall, because that's something we can accomplish in the time, and I think it'll accomplish about the same goal that we had too. We just wanted more color in there, more breaking up of the white walls.
So the Wood Basher says, congrats on YouTube anniversary. I love your videos. You inspired me to start my channel. In our recent desk video, when the resin was smoking, were we worried about fire? We weren't, because we had done an even thicker pour. We have a video that's can epoxy cook an egg, and we wanted to see how hot it would
Yes.
get and if it could cook an egg. And so the thicker you pour it, the hotter it gets, and like the more quickly it gets hot. And so we did a pour that was about this thick, whereas, you know, for the desk we only did it less than an inch, maybe a half inch at a time. So we did one this thick, and it cooked an egg, but it didn't set anything on fire. So I was kind of like, it
Yeah.
should be okay. Smoking's like kind of normal. It happens.
So the smoking though, that's off gassing, and you need to wear a mask when it does that.
which we did not do super well.
We've done it. We've done it ever since then.
Well, no. We grabbed the wrong masks in this video, because we just
Oh.
grabbed what was nearby. And there was dust masks, because we were streaming at the time and we were distracted. And we were
Oh,
just
so we
like,
grabbed a particulate, not a vapor one.
Yeah, not a vapor one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we have one of each
Yeah.
of the fancy ones. We should probably like
get two of each.
get two of each and
Probably.
then hang them in a nice organized place or something.
Yeah, you know.
Guys, coming up soon, we are going to be working with Lowe's to redo our garage.
Yes, I'm so
Oh
excited.
my gosh! It's
We
just
need
like,
it badly.
We need it so bad.
The garage is a disaster zone.
It's such a disaster zone. It's so bad.
Clarence asked, I don't have X card, but I need a product done. Would we do it for a price? We can't. It's kind of like opening the floodgates. There are
Yeah.
like online you can find people who can do it, or you can do it at a makerspace.
Makerspace, yeah.
Or find someone at a makerspace who can do it. So if
Yeah.
you look around locally, but we always have to say no to that kind of stuff, because if we say yes once, then it's just too much to handle, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh my gosh.
So we've gotten more questions about the relationship. We answered that kind of in an earlier question, and we have a podcast on that. We're not ignoring some of these questions, but some of them we've answered earlier in the stream.
Yeah, but I think working together overall has had a positive impact.
Oh, totally.
'Cause,
Totally.
like-
We've like leveled up our communication skills. We've
Yeah.
leveled up like all sorts of things. And plus, it's just we have so many shared experiences together, and I think that just makes our friendship even better
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just continue learning more about each other and everything. It's fun.
Yeah. Can you work on long-term projects simultaneously with quick videos? When we're ahead enough, we
Yes.
can, and we have done that before. But when we get behind enough, like we are now, where we're working week to week, we can't. We can only work on one at a time. But we have done that before, and that's the point we'd like to get to, because there are bigger projects we want to tackle.
Okay, so we got an interesting question from Foxhawk. What is the most useless tool? And I think that completely depends on the person. I think obviously the most useless tool is the tool that you don't use. And for us, that could be a lot of things, because we go through phases, you know? But what do you think? The most useless tool.
Any hand tool, because I don't use them. I don't have the patience.
No, I know we have a few hand tools. We want to use them. I think-
I'm half joking. Like hand tools.
Now, when they're properly set up, they can actually speed up your things a lot. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
when we were with
I've
Johnny
used
Brooks,
when we were with Johnny Brook,
Brooke,
we
yeah.
used some hand tools at his shop, and they were great. It's just we don't
but also
have
it's
them
like,
properly set up.
the more you get, the more you need. So, like with hand tools, they have a nice sharp blade. That's how they work. But if the blade isn't sharp, then it's useless. So you need to have a place to sharpen it. And with our shop, there's no
Yeah.
place to have these stations set up. So it's like, if we're gonna bust out the next type of thing, we need to unbury it from under the pile of stuff upon which it is on, and then
Yeah.
use that. So
Yeah.
it's like,
We have a lot of buried stuff.
if we had a bigger shop, I think we might use more things more frequently, because it would have a station set up for each of them. Would have like a hand tool polishing station, so then we can do our hand tools, use our hand tools properly. Words are hard. Words are hard.
What's the biggest set of googly eyes you've put on one of our tools? Midori Joker asks. They're like this big. It's like technically not on a tool. It's on
It's
our
like a foot in diameter, 12 inches or so,
the googly
No,
eye.
yeah,
No, it's like
maybe
this
8.
big.
8
It's
inches.
like this big. Yeah, we have them on our workshop AC. So sometimes
We
I'll
have
like
more. We have more that we're gonna do.
we do. Sometimes I'll edit them to move in the background of videos, and sometimes people catch it.
Yeah,
Like they look around.
yeah,
I get really excited when people notice.
yeah. Do we have a wood burner? Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so. We have a soldering iron with adjustable range temperature, so that's kind of like a wood burner.
Yeah, we've burnt wood with it. It doesn't work well, but we've done that before. Back when we were doing products.
David Barry, we have introduced him into aluminum T-slot, and now he is in Lurv.
In Lurv, we Lurv it too.
You're welcome, and I'm sorry for the addiction. It's a lot. Like, I was even thinking, like, every now and then I just like stay up late night thinking about things, and I was thinking like, okay, so now what we need to do is we need to build a T-slot aluminum framing track,
Put the lights on
put
it.
the lights on it, and hang it from the ceiling, and then we can have light shining down from the ceiling onto this, and we can eliminate some of these things and like really get efficient and stuff. And I'm like,
Yes.
that's kind of a good idea.
That's a really good idea. That's a really good idea.
That's a really good idea.
Oh my god.
Because I mean, we could do it out of like, we could build it out of 2x4s,
No.
which would be cheap.
T-slot aluminum framing.
T-slot aluminum framing, because then we can like add like, you know, because if you want to attach something to wood, you have to screw it in and out, and if you need to move it, you need to like move the screw with. If you want to move a light or add a light or attach anything of any size, shape, or whatever, you can just print things and have attachment points. I don't know. It's just so modular.
Georgia C is asking, are there any projects that failed so bad we never showed it on camera? No, we usually show the fails.
There are incomplete projects.
Yeah, there's been one or two incomplete projects that just like we got bored of, and so we never finished them, and so they're not a video. But usually, if something like is started and doesn't become a video, it's because it's not exciting to us.
Yeah.
And it's very rare that I think it's happened like twice in our entire YouTube.
Okay, so
career.
like one we can talk about. We wanted to make a 3D printed knife with Alex Steel, and we made a video about that. But what we didn't include is we got a whole bunch of footage of us experimenting with like lattice and all these generative designs and everything, and that just didn't make it into the video just because it was too much of a tangent. It was too confusing. So it's like even videos that might have failed in some ways still pushed on in other ways, just in maybe another iteration. And we just didn't include it just because it was too much. We don't want to bore you guys. We know that your video watching time is very important.
Jared Jones asks, what's been the most dangerous project you've attempted? The propane cannon?
The propane cannon, somewhat. I mean, I kind of felt pretty confident about what I was doing.
I wasn't confident.
I know this. I'll say this. I was confident that what I was building could withstand in excess of the pressures we were generating. How about that?
Fair enough.
Now, there were some times where like you fired it when you didn't know it was loaded.
Yeah.
That was a little bit dangerous. But I mean, I was watching to make sure you weren't pointing it anywhere, and you weren't pointing it anywhere bad, so I thought that you were being aware of it too. And then you just fired it, and you're like, it was loaded?
I didn't know.
Oh, like, yeah, that was loaded.
I didn't know. Yeah, those probably are one of our more dangerous ones. I mean, we're exploding things in our hands.
Yeah.
You know?
The power hammer. I mean, Alec was there watching
That was
us.
one of the most nerve-wracking things, was using the power hammer with Alex Steel, because that thing is a beast.
That thing is a beast.
You're holding, especially like, you know, I got these little noodle arms. I'm holding this giant, super heavy piece of metal. Like, you're holding it far away from you, and every time it's being smacked, and it's super jarring, and like sparks are going everywhere. That was probably actually the scariest thing, but it was also really cool and
we
fun.
were with someone though that had done it so much that had instructed so many people. Alec taught blacksmithing classes for I think years.
Yeah.
If not years, for a long
we were in
period
good
of time.
hands.
and you know, he's just awesome. I don't know. We've been talking about Alec a lot in this stream.
Voldemort.
Oh, I know something that failed completely. Candy cannon.
Oh yeah, candy cannon.
We just dropped it because we just
we
weren't
didn't have
able to get
time
it in
because we were
yeah.
trying to do it in time for Halloween.
So what we wanted to do is we wanted to make a sabot in our propane cannon. The sabot is a regular shaped ammo delivery or ammo acceleration package that you stuff a whole bunch of things in it, and then you fire it, and as soon as it exits the barrel, it breaks apart, it pulls back and releases the inner ammo that's inside of it. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to pack a whole bunch of candy inside of this projectile, fire it out of our cannon, and then the sabot peels back and you're shooting all these little...
Like a shotgun.
Like a shotgun. But where we ended it, we just never finished it because we didn't have it done in time, is the sabot we 3D printed, and it's a projectile too.
So it just went into the thing.
So we're firing like candy and a 3D printed cartridge also.
Yeah.
I think we need to make it out of something lighter or something. I don't know, but we just weren't there yet.
Yeah.
We just didn't finish it.
Valdemar asks, what do your neighbors think about what you do? Have you ever gotten complaints from anyone?
No.
We haven't gotten complaints. Like, our neighbors are pretty cool. Every now and then, like, they'll walk by and see us, like, filming stuff in the driveway, which, you know, I'm sure they're like, what are they doing? But,
What?
and I know sometimes people are like, your neighbors must hate you because it's, like, dark outside and we're doing stuff. But usually it's, like, they're, like, it gets dark kind of early, you know?
It
Like,
does,
it's usually,
yeah.
like, dinner time.
Yeah, it's like usually 8. We never do anything past, like, no power tools outside past
We
10.
try not to.
I don't-
Sometimes
Well,
we might.
maybe in the past.
I don't know. Sometimes we lose track of time, but we try not to.
Yeah.
And usually, if it's dark and we're doing stuff outside, it's not actually that late.
So Joris asked the question, do googly eyes make the tools better?
Yes.
The answer is yes.
Always, yes.
It certainly makes them more fun. Let's see. Wow, and we have people from all over the place, like
I know.
Korea, like
Malaysia,
the Middle East, Europe, and
Cape
everything like
Town.
that.
It's awesome, you
That's
guys.
awesome. So next Halloween, hey, maybe we'll bring it back up. Maybe we'll tell the story of how like.
We have footage from a year ago where we started
Yeah.
filming it. Oh man. So Johnny Makes asked to all of us ADHD makers out there, what's the best advice for those starting in YouTube territory? Go straight to DIY, art, etc. How do you guys navigate the randomness? To start
with what you're most enthusiastic about.
And that might be being random, which
Yeah.
is what we were. We were very enthusiastic about doing a random assortment of projects. And so we started the channel with a random assortment of projects, and we've kind of stuck with that, which is why, like, one day we'll be woodworking, and then we're playing with resin, and then we're making a cannon, and then we're like doing art. So you can just embrace the randomness.
Yeah.
Just make sure that your audience expects it.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about this in our
In a podcast?
Yes, but you know, it's like when you are when you are more random, I think that might potentially slow you down. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it, but finding a niche and fulfilling like a gap in that niche is one way to grow faster, but it might limit you in the long term. There's a lot that goes into it. I don't know. We have a lot of thoughts about this, evidently, because we talked about it for 50 minutes. So Keegan Does Gaming asks, what are our favorite books?
Oh man.
Yeah. Okay. So right now
You have more because you listen to audiobooks.
yeah, but
and I don't.
you can tell them about Bobaverse.
Oh yeah, Bobaverse is awesome.
It's
I've been
so
listening.
good.
You got me hooked on that one. Yeah, the Bobaverse series is really good. Some recent ones that I mean, I don't know if they came out recently, but they're more recent for me, as in like the past 2 years, because I haven't had time to read much. Seven Eves.
Seven Eves was so
Super
good.
good.
Ready
book.
Player One.
Ready Player One.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
Ready
read a
Player
lot of
One
like
is awesome.
sci-fi, like
Yep.
alternative universe kind of stuff.
Yeah, one really nerdy one for me is I like Jim Butcher. It's he does like this wizard series and stuff. I like a lot of like fantasy stuff. Like old school, like younger Evan really liked The Wheel of Time and The Sword of Truth.
Younger Evan.
Younger Evan. Yeah, but I just read, and by read I mean listen. Like I've hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books. But I think those are some standout ones. I don't want to go on this for too long.
Take a shot every time Evan plugs the podcast.
You guys are gonna be drunk.
Oh man. Is there any project we want to do but we can't afford? There's maybe
like the main thing that I could say is our like one day, like, and this answers like our dream project and something that we can't afford right now. And really the afford is like in terms of time, really a bigger workshop, like a big workshop and house renovation.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of like our dream from both ends of the spectrum. But it's like, oh man, that's such a big time commitment.
Yeah.
And renovating a space takes a lot longer when you're also filming it and editing
Yeah.
a video about it. And I just know it's going to be a long haul, and I think it'll be a great series, but it's just a big commitment to take on. And it might slow down our video pace, and we just know how long house searching takes.
Yeah, it might
It,
be
ta-
like
it
less
takes so much time to find and buy a house. We actually wrote
than
a
to renovate.
oh
it.
here, check this out. I'm gonna plug our blog.
Oh my gosh. Okay, if you guys want to
House
see
buying
baby
for noobs.
faces, we wrote a blog post called "House Buying for Noobs" when we bought our first house.
Look at everyone copying our title.
Well, they didn't say noobs, so they're not as cool.
Yeah. Oh, we spelled it with OOBS. Okay, I'll paste a link in here. But for anyone who wants to see like old school Evan and Caitlin before we even started the YouTube channel, I put that link in there. But we did like a whole blog post about how to find and buy a house.
I've got bangs, and you don't have a beard.
Weird.
Oh no, you had a chin strap.
Oh no. Oh, man.
Oh,
But-
and Zacer. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Hello, all the way in Australia.
Oh,
For
yeah.
our light railing solutions. Apparently, Jazza I've been seeing that he moved to a new studio. I haven't watched
Yeah.
any new videos, but apparently he uses them for his like light railing.
Yeah, we found out about Jazza from Bill and Brett.
Yeah, because they did like a costume for him for
Yeah.
when he's doing VR stuff.
Yeah, and he seems really awesome. He seems really genuine and just excited.
Yeah,
He
I
seems
wanna
like
watch
our
more of
type of
his stuff.
person. And plus, he does art stuff, and we like art stuff. He should do resin. He should do alcohol
Well,
ink.
maybe he does.
Maybe he does. Yeah, but I watched one of his just sit down daily Jazzas recently, just because it just
He's been popping up on our feed.
well, it's because I watched that one video. So I watched a daily Jazza about like a big change or something, and it was about the move, and he revealed that he had filmed like all of those daily Jazzas in the same day, and he was just changing shirts, which I thought was hilarious. Yeah, but that he does seem really cool. Maybe we should reach out to him.
So with Bob building the worth the efforts asking with Bob doing the Star Wars cosplay for the family, will we do Star Trek cosplay? Do a battle. Probably not, just because we're so slow at cosplay. We're still working on the Wonder Woman costume like a year later.
Yeah.
I really want to do more cosplay though.
Yeah.
I think it'd be so fun. I really like doing costumes.
Part of the problem though is this Wonder Woman build or like costume has taken so long that you're kind of bored with it.
Yeah, that's the thing is you get kind of bored with it because it lasts a year and a half.
That sounds so bad.
I do want to finish it. We just need to be faster.
Yeah.
But I think
Scott Hoffman says Miss Bourne, Brandon Sanderson, awesome. I liked the original. I'm not sure how much I liked the follow-up series in the same universe. But yeah, Brandon Sanderson's awesome. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Do you think about doing a more like techie type build from the ad maker?
Techie type?
Techie type.
I want to do something with Raspberry Pi.
Oh, yeah, you want to build a little...
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to say it.
No,
Yeah.
no.
We're not going to say it yet, but yeah, we do have some things planned.
Oh my gosh, RIP blog on mobile. It doesn't work.
Oh, well, that's weird.
Oh
Okay.
man. Oh my gosh. or
Maybe
did
you got the YouTube hug of death.
YouTube hug of death. Could be.
Oh.
That'd be crazy.
Weld some armor for Evan. That would be do it Adam Savage style.
I mean, I actually haven't looked at the blog on mobile in a while.
we can look at it later. We'll look at it later.
We'll look at it later. It's like I need to troubleshoot the blog. It's down.
Nerdy views. You're always interested in the cosplay until the next cool thing comes along, and then you want to do that instead. Yeah.
Oh,
it
Make Gold
makes
Modify
sense.
lets us know that the CSS isn't loading. That's not good.
No, awesome.
Okay, favorite Marvel movie? Wait, is the Spider-Verse Marvel? I don't know. I'm really bad at Marvel-verse.
It was like a side Marvel. Was it technically? Well,
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man is Marvel, but was the Spider-Verse in the same series? We really like the Spider-Verse, the new Spider-Verse video.
The new Spider-Verse
also
video
really
is
liked
awesome.
Thor Ragnarok,
Yeah.
and I really like the Guardians of the Galaxy. Both of them. Those are my favorites. I like the funny ones.
Yeah. All right.
Do we have plans for a vacation? We hope to take a vacation later this year because we used to do like a 2-week trip every year. We'd go somewhere like very far and do a big thing out of it. But we haven't been able to since we started the channel. So we're hoping we can take a 2-week vacation later this year. Maybe go to Thailand is what we're thinking of, or like somewhere in Southeast Asia for half the week in Thailand. Specifically, we know for a week. But yeah, hopefully we'll get to do that. We probably won't vlog it just because I worry that Well, one, it might be kind of random for our channel, but also it kind of defeats the purpose of taking a break. So we probably won't. I say that now.
we might try to do more vlog-like content at some point in the future with the Evan and Caitlin Tuesdays, but like around a topic, around something fun. Like one thing I want to do is I want to take Caitlin to a cat cafe in Houston and vlog that. Because I think that like just capturing Caitlin's pure joy would be so much fun.
I want to do that. Yeah, we do want to
do
kind of more
Caitlin's
just like...
mic down so that when she like squeezes continuously, it won't like max out the recorder.
Oh, I know. I'm so excited. Yeah, we do want to do more kind of just like little... We started them a little bit ago. We called them like E&K Tuesdays because our main videos are Fridays. And we wanted to be able to do more casual videos every now and then. So we did a few like kind of more vloggy, casual type stuff on the E&K Tuesdays. And they don't get as many views as the rest, so it's sometimes hard to do them also because it seems like people don't like them as much. But maybe that'll change, you know, if we keep doing them. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, Bali. We looked at Bali too. That might be one place we want to go.
Yeah.
Do we regret going full time on YouTube?
No,
not at all. It's awesome. I'm so glad we went full time. It was a long time coming with our like very long transition into it.
Yeah. So and this really does fit us well as a job because both of us kind of have a slight obsession of using our time well.
Yeah.
And we think about like time passing in a similar way and we like to be productive and we like for our time to mean something long term in a way. So, you know, we are working a lot more. Like the amount of hours we work per week is a lot more, but it's so satisfying and it's adding that long-term value to us. And it's really great spending time together.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. It is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Lots to catch up to.
I know. What's the goofiest idea for a project you've ever thought about? Oh man. I mean, a lot of them. I had an idea once. I put it on the list. I don't know if we'll ever do it, but it would be like to make a really nice, super fancy like box, like a wooden box, and then you open it, and then there's a button, and you push it, and it makes a fart noise.
Yeah, like a fart box. Like a really, really nicely
like
made,
really
box.
Nice, like
really
decorative
nice
box
yeah.
that you'd have on a coffee table or like on your styled built-in shelves. But you open it and push a button, and it makes a fart.
Yep.
I think that'd be awesome.
That would be pretty funny. Okay.
Favorite noodle variety? Does pasta count? Pasta. Bow tie pasta.
Yeah,
homemade pasta.
Yeah, we do a lot of cooking at home, and we like pastas a lot. We have a lot of pasta. We have a lot of our like a lot of things. What was our least favorite project? That's kind of it's kind of funny, but I kind of want to like choose this now, you know?
I have a couple in my head.
Okay, so I think that the least favorite
I have a guess for yours. Wait, can I guess?
Okay, guess. I have.
Because you answer for you and I'll answer for me.
Okay.
I think your least favorite was doing the Murphy bed cabinets.
Yes. It was just like boring and unsatisfying, kind of. I don't know.
The video turned out good.
The video turned out great.
Part two, doing the built-ins.
Yeah.
I think was more fun.
I think maybe a little bit, but I think that like just building boxes,
cabinetry
isn't like satisfying in a way. I don't know.
Yeah.
What about, okay, so let me see. What was your least favorite project? Was it CAD? CAD to cam?
CAD to cam? No, because I liked
the challenge.
The challenge of like making that instructional type video more fun.
Okay. Was it the wooden ornaments?
No, I don't have like it's not like a strong least favorite.
Okay, go for it. What's your least favorite?
It's probably the 3D printed hose clamps.
Oh.
Just because like it was just 3D prints, and that's 100% your domain, and it wasn't like that creative.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. I just got kind of excited about the, I don't know, the possibility is like showing like
No, I
something
think it's a really
usable
cool
and
idea.
stuff. Yeah, but
It's
like,
just for me, the process of doing that video, I wasn't very involved in
but also
it.
back then we didn't have like the style of like, you know,
That's
focusing
true.
on making it entertaining, and like we didn't know what we were doing back then.
That's
I think
true. I
somewhat.
can't really
We were
think
still-
of anything recent that
We were
that
still
I didn't have
finding
fun with.
our feet underneath us. Yeah, everything recently has been like
Super fun.
super fun, and I think it's because we know what type of content we want to do.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? This is a question from me to us. But what do you think our most underrated video right now was? I think for a while it was a propane cannon, but that has been going. I'm
It took
so
off.
excited about that. It was just sitting like at nothing.
Our most
But-
underrated video.
Our most underrated video.
Okay. The one I'm gonna pick, like, is probably what I think is one of our funniest videos, but I understand why it didn't get the views because it was kind of random.
Okay, go for it.
The Christmas beard video.
For
this Christmas, I just really wanted to do like a beard decorating video. And
Yep.
so I decorated Evan's beard for Christmas. But then that's when he made me my beard. That's the origin of the
Yeah.
beard.
Yeah.
He made the beard for me. And it's just like such a funny video. Like, I mean, I'm biased. I wouldn't have like edited it in the way I did if I didn't think it was funny, you know?
Yeah.
But like, that's the video that I still laugh at, even though it's our own jokes and I've heard it a billion times. What about
Okay,
you?
for me, it's hard because there's like a few that are kind of competing. But I still think the prop contest with Punish Props and 3D Printing Nerd,
Oh, yeah.
that was just like, I
That
think it's
was-
because it was really ambitious. It was a push in the new direction. I think that like you put so many hours of work into that video. And I think that
yeah.
maybe it was just like too far of a stretch. Have any of you guys watched the prop contest that
Well,
we
it
made?
was-
Because
it-
like, let us know like
It was
what you
so
thought.
hard to edit because we set it up like a game
So
show.
hard.
So we had like pre-interviews. You know, like imagine like Great British Bake Off or
Yeah.
like the new Making It show or you know some kind of competition like that where there's like pre-interviews intermixed with what's happening, intermixed with like the expert opinions, and there was a judging ceremony and all this stuff, and it was. Yeah, there was so much
It was a
work to
lot.
edit.
It
It
was
was
so
so
much.
much. And I really like that video too. Yeah, that was another underrated one, I think.
Yeah, I think that might be one of my most underratedness. Is, let's see, what was the other question that I had? I had a question here, but then I forgot it. Yeah. Oh, someone said the cat tape video is the most underrated.
Yeah, cat tape. That was one of our E&K Tuesdays. That was inspired by Jenna
Definitely
Marbles.
inspired by Jenna, yeah.
And Cermit and his soap fetish.
All right, for anyone who has to go, thanks for joining.
Let's see. Have we thought about considering or incorporating Legos into our build? Yeah. Or Lego bricks. Because Legos is
Oh,
term.
yeah. Yeah, we have.
We have, yeah. We haven't like figured out the right project, but we definitely have.
Even like one really interesting use that I've seen a lot of people use Lego bricks for is to make
Molds.
silicone molds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. I think
It's so
that's
cool, yeah.
and they even have like registration marks if you're doing two part because of the like you know
I think that's
things
really
and
cool.
everything. I don't know. It's like it's pretty neat. It's pretty
Yeah.
neat. And I'm so sad about the blog dying on some people's computers.
Well, you know, we'll deal with that later.
I know, but it's like
That's what happens. Like,
oh.
so the thing about doing a YouTube channel is it's not just the channel. Like, you're running your own business, and it's
Yeah.
just the two of us. And so, like, we're responsible for website updating and maintenance, like all the social media, all the like dealings with sponsors, making the videos themselves, doing merch, stuff like that. And so, like,
Oh.
sometimes. Were you about to say that there's podcasts on it?
Yes, it's
No.
coming out. It's coming out tomorrow.
No.
It's coming out tomorrow. It's like our daily routines and
Oh,
how we
yeah.
spend our time and everything like that. So,
But yeah, so you know, sometimes websites crash and CSS doesn't work, and you're
Yeah.
just like, well, that's how it is.
Well, yeah.
That's how it is for now. We'll get to it when we can.
Okay, so favorite color. I think that one of my favorite colors, if I could just have Caitlin's clock as my favorite color, I'm gonna bring it into the stream. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that I did the teal blues and you did the galaxy, because usually, like, I would do the galaxy and you would do the.
This is my favorite color.
Oh, it's kind of green screening out. Yeah, the green screen is.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
getting into it because it's green.
Yeah, that didn't work very well. They know what it looks like.
If you haven't seen the video, Caitlin's
Mhm.
clock. Oh yeah,
Oh,
I'm seeing
another-
it here delayed.
A
Oh yeah, that's
related
horrible.
question from Scott Hoffman. In terms of videos, which one did we make that like got a lot of views that we didn't think would?
Oh, okay. I know the answer to this. It's drywall.
Our third most viewed video is how
2
to
years ago.
patch and repair drywall.
That video is now 2 years old today.
Oh yeah, it is 2 years old today.
Yeah.
So when we first launched the channel, we had like 4 or 5 videos that we put on the channel all at the same time, and this was one of those videos. It was the second one we ever filmed, and it's how to patch and repair drywall,
Mm-hmm.
and it's our third most viewed video ever.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely getting a lot of views as a utility video.
Yeah.
One thing that we've noticed is for the views that it has a lot more, it has a lot less comments and likes. So I think people are finding it from SEO and everything.
Yeah.
But hey, that's pretty awesome. Another thing that's very similar to that is 7 tips for small scale manufacturing. Caitlin wasn't sure about that
I was so
video.
worried about that video. I was like, this is gonna be boring.
It's gonna be
This is,
boring.
like, we're not making anything. Yeah, but that one,
And how to sell handmade products and making AD coasters
those are
All
all
of
kind of
those were
related to
ones
like
that we all
small
kind of
business.
doubted.
Yeah, because they're all like small business ones. They're not
Yeah,
as like makery.
yeah. And there's a lot of talking in all of them. Well, except for making AD coasters. That's a lot of panic.
It was a lot of late night panic, which I feel like is often a theme.
Yeah.
Whose idea was it to start a YouTube channel?
I don't know.
I think it was yours.
I think it might have been mine because story on, I don't know if we've told this in the YouTube or in a podcast, but we might have. We might have. I was at a job doing engineering, and as one of the first employees at the company, I was supposed to get kind of stock, and because of that I was really invested in it, and I worked a lot there. I worked a lot of hours, and the company was sold and we weren't getting the things that we were promised. This is getting a lot into the details, but anyways, I was working way too much, and I didn't feel like it was worth it. I was giving up my life for this thing that I wasn't getting anything really back from, and it just got to a point where I'm like, I gotta quit. I just don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I just quit basically without a plan, which is kind of crazy. I was like, I'm going to do consulting. I'm going to apply to other jobs. I'm going to figure something out. Caitlin had a job, and she could sustain us with healthcare and, money and everything until I figured out what we were doing next. And we had stuff saved up because both of us were working, and we're really cheap. We're frugal. We're frugal. Caitlin is frugal, and she helps me stay frugal. So I was figuring out what we wanted to do. I started designing products I wanted to sell. I started looking at other jobs. I started applying to like more like design and like product design type things, and just exploring all these things. And I think then that's how we came up with I kind of maybe brought it up then during that period, where I was trying to figure out the next step.
No.
Oh no!
You brought up making products because you were looking into product design.
Yeah.
So then you were like, maybe we can make products and sell them.
Oh yeah. So I found that West Elm has a local program. I got us into that, and then we kind of started going down that road
of selling like handmade products.
And then we started the Instagram and all of that, and that started going well.
And I think getting involved in the Instagram community and
finding success there, kind of.
Well, very little bit.
It was encouraging.
It was encouraging.
Yeah.
I was gonna say more just like seeing the maker community on Instagram, and there's so many people
potential
with YouTube channels and successful YouTube channels, and we'd seen a lot of those channels before, but it always just felt very separate. It was like I would look up a tutorial on how to do something that I wanted to make for our house,
Yeah.
But at some point, while we were doing the products, we were like, we should start up the blog again. And we started like doing some projects and putting them on the blog. And then that was like, well, if we're going to be doing this, maybe we just try YouTube. And maybe that's the next step.
Yeah. I think that's how it started.
But I think it was your idea.
Yeah. I think that there was some realization that we're like, if we hadn't have done this, we wouldn't have started the YouTube channel. And it was like some very like small thing that set us down this path. I forgot what that realization was.
Good story.
Good story. Okay. Danny G is asking, What software do we use to make our t-shirts, and who designs them?
Oh, it's in Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator, and I designed them.
Yeah. So, and quick question about from Will Cooper about if you have something you want to bring to the market, and do you need to patent it? You don't need to patent it, but it might help, especially if you can like sub-license it if it's like a utility patent or something. But in general, oftentimes, if you have a really good name and a really good like design and stuff, just copyright that name, copyright that design, and bring it to market, and just own that marketplace, because eventually, even if you have a patent, people are going to try to get around it. But like Yetis are a good example of like why you don't necessarily need to copyright something. I'm not sure if, or like patent something. I'm not sure if Yeti patented this dual insulated vacuum stainless steel cup, but there are a lot of imitations out there that are cheaper. Mm-hmm. And yet, what do people keep on buying? Yetis, because that's like the name. They like owned the name, you know?
Yeah, and they were the first ones, and they established themselves.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, can you Google that? It's just like, can you do an internet search for that? But Google has become synonymous for internet searching, even if you're not going to Google it, you know? So it's kind of like, that's one way to win.
Ancient Dragon asks, what made us want to start building things together? And it started when we were planning our wedding, because again, I'm very cheap / frugal. And so like wedding decorations are super expensive to buy and rent. And I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on something that would be used for like a party and then nothing else. And so we started making stuff in our apartment for the wedding. Our first project was these big, we have a video on it too, these big like 2 feet tall light up wood and metal marquee letters that say love. And that was for the wedding. Shortly after that, before we were married, actually, we bought our house.
Yeah. But we were pretty sure about things.
We were pretty sure.
I think I co-signed on your car at some point too, before then too.
Yeah, we were already very like financially intertwined. But we bought our house and started fixing it up. So we were doing things like, just like stuff that we needed for the house.
Yeah. Okay. So if you weren't doing YouTube, what would you be doing now? That's a pretty good question.
Oh, man.
I would probably be doing, I'd hopefully be doing like product design, kind of meshing the art and design and aesthetics with the engineering, and maybe doing like either something along that line, or I'd be like selling our own products. I think that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah. So if I'm assuming that like I've already caught the content creation bug, like if I'm in my place,
I'm thinking like like eliminate content creation from it.
Okay, so like if we had never started,
and I'd
probably still be doing graphic design.
Yeah,
I like graphic design. Yeah. I probably would have gone back to freelancing, because I had bounced back and forth between like freelancing and working for a company and freelancing, and I probably would be back to freelancing again.
We do like the freedom of doing our own things.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's harder. It's
more work.
It's more work, but I don't know. It's for us. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, everyone's ideal lives are different, and not everyone's ideal lives are going to be the same. But for us, it's worth it, and it's what we want. Yeah. That was a good question.
Yeah. Let's see. Jelly Meyer asks, so was there ever a time where we felt like we hit a slump with YouTube? Something that they're dealing with right now. I think slump. Yes, there was a period of time. It was right after we posted the propane cannon, actually, because the propane cannon got demonetized. That was late 2017. And after that, every video for the next 10 videos got demonetized.
Oh,
and we
so
didn't
painful.
know what was happening. Our views tanked like for 2 months. They were just terrible. And it was during a time period where we had said to ourselves, like, okay, we're really going to double down and start posting even more videos. So we were doing more than weekly videos, and they were all getting demonetized, and it was very discouraging.
It was very burnouty.
It was very burnouty, because
it's like, I think that like someone said, burnout often happens when the effort you're putting in isn't matching the rewards you're getting out, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
or the perceived or whatever. So yeah, we were definitely going through a slump there, but we just pushed through. We just kept on going.
Yeah. I think it was because like, we knew that the demonetization was like, it was false. Every time, we would like put in for manual review, it'd get pulled back. And so we were like, okay, it's just something going on with YouTube right now. It has to get fixed eventually for whatever reason. It didn't affect everyone, but there's a lot of people at the same time that were also getting hit, like for no apparent reason. So we're like, okay, this is something that like will get fixed eventually, and we can't just stop making videos. So
yeah, and also it's like, like this can't go on. YouTube can't have this keep on going on, and their algorithm or something or whatever fixed, and yeah, that's a good question right there. I have one over here though too.
Okay.
What's the next medium you want to experiment in? That's interesting, because we have been jumping around from all different sorts of mediums, but I don't really have an answer. We do want to do more welding. We're going to do mix welding and resin.
Yeah, I want to
mix resin with everything.
Yeah, I do want to mix like metal and resin. I think that would be really cool.
That'd be really cool.
And I want to do more art related stuff.
Yeah.
So like incorporating art into more builds, or just doing it like on its own.
Yeah.
We have a lot of resin projects on the listing, and we want to do.
We have thought about nail polish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's one that's kind of out
like
there.
Resin, if you think about it.
It is kind of like resin.
And then like we definitely want to do some like Nerf gun
things,
mods.
Yeah.
Like I think that would be fun.
Want to do that.
It's not really like a medium.
I want to get an airbrush.
Yeah, we want to get like an airbrush and do some like
that'd be really fun.
Painting and stuff. And I think this isn't really a medium, but just kind of experimenting with some more like kind of goofy videos that aren't necessarily project based. Maybe they're like experiment based.
But also like the Bob Ross challenge is like one micro step in that direction. Bob Ross challenge. Caitlin really wants to do the Bob Ross challenge.
I just want to paint.
We're gonna do that at some point. We will.
So Angelo asks, says, obviously you keep your videos pretty positive. Do you fight, and how do you stop fighting? We don't really have like fights per se. Like we'll have disagreements
I don't think we've
sometimes.
ever fought.
Yeah, we don't really fight.
Because fighting means that you're on opposite sides, kind of.
Yeah.
Like
there's definitely, I think what happens sometimes is that
we have gotten upset.
Yeah, we've gotten upset, and it's usually because we're under some sort of time pressure.
It's always because we're under time pressure.
Because of time pressure, one of us wasn't like communicating what needed to be communicated, so there was a misunderstanding. But even before we started the channel, we were really good about being over communicators. And so like if one of us noticed something was wrong, we would bring it up pretty much immediately instead of letting things stew and get worse. So we always like talk about things as soon as something comes up, because you can't be angry at each other and then like pretend to have a great time working on something. So it's like if we do get frustrated at a situation, we just talk about it right then, and we don't start like we drop everything else to like figure out what's going on and make it better, and then like we keep going.
Well, you got a question about, have you guys ever experimented with concrete and resin? We did. We tried mixing them.
We did.
And it was not the best, but we were doing them when they were both wet.
And I also think it was the molds we were using.
It was possibly the molds too, because we
use potatoes to make molds.
Yeah.
Like plastic molds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have watched Peter Brown's channel before. He's done a lot of cool things together.
Yeah. Although, like, I don't want to, like, I've seen a decent amount of stuff, but I don't want to watch too much because I don't want to be influenced.
Experience it fresh.
Yeah, I want to experience it fresh.
Yeah. That's interesting. We haven't done any lathe work. We don't have a lathe.
That would be something that I want to do.
That would be something. Our friend Ashley Harwood keeps on pestering us that we should do some lathe work, and she's like one of the best lathe people out there. So she's just like, whew, amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got to do that at some point. And we keep on getting so many questions for Juby Instagram still.
Oh yeah. Juby, I wish she would come hang out with us, but we brought her earlier in the chat, and that was all she wanted to do.
Yeah.
You can't you can't
force
make
it.
cats do
Yeah.
what they don't want to do.
Nope.
She was here in the beginning.
Yeah. So what software do we use to design rooms, the interior design, and all of that?
It's a mix. So like, if we're building something for the room, then it's going to be Fusion 360, and Evan will mock that up. So like when we did our laundry room, Evan mocked up like where the cabinets were going to be and stuff like that. If it's more cosmetic upgrades, then I'll do it in Photoshop. So like the front door makeover, I just took a picture of our door, took like color swatches from different paint samples, and experimented with photoshopping different lights, different door hardware, stuff like that. So we kind of will combine our skills to figure out how we want to do the space.
So we've gotten questions about merch, warehouse, shipping.
Yeah.
And like, would we ever bring someone on to manage that? Right now, we kind of outsource that to another company, and kind of let them do the shipping and fulfillment and all of that. I'm not sure, we have thought in the future about bringing someone on to kind of help in general, just like as like someone who can take on a lot of miscellaneous things like customer service, and there's just a lot of miscellaneous things that we could use help for. But I'm not sure at what point would bring merchandise back in-house, because that's like a big thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into it, like, things getting lost in the mail, misprints. Shipping things is logistically really difficult, guys. And also, I think that partially one of the things we do is all of our merch is printed on demand. So that means we can make as many shirts as we want, all sorts of different colors, all sorts of different designs. And there are some downsides with that. But in general, there's a lot of big upsides too. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a complicated thing. Merch is complicated.
Were you inspired by Mythbusters in any way?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you haven't seen the propane cannon, that was definitely like one of the big inspirations.
And our water blaster.
Our water
Part
blaster.
2.
Yeah. We measured it against the thing.
We put it against we
a
measured the
yardstick and
velocity
stuff.
against a yardstick in slow motion. Yeah.
Yeah. Slow motion cameras, all that. I've watched every single Mythbusters.
Me too.
Yes. We have watched every single Mythbusters.
Yes, we have. Yes, we're big fans of Mythbusters.
And it's great. I think another thing that's interesting about Mythbusters, not only inspiration from the like stuff they did on screen, like the making and all of that. I think that both Adam and Jamie were so much themselves. They just, I don't know. I think that on a lot of TV shows, you get the feeling that things are staged, or that like things are set up in a certain way, or that people are trying to portray themselves a little bit differently. I don't know. Maybe. I don't watch too much TV, but I get that impression sometimes. And with Mythbusters, like it really felt like that's who they were, and they just embraced their own quirks. Because I'm sure that the producers might have wanted Jamie to be more outgoing or whatever, and maybe Adam to be a little bit less goofy, but they were just themselves.
Yeah.
And that's what made Mythbusters so interesting, I think, and that's why it stands out from other shows.
Yeah, it's super awesome.
Yeah, and also, sorry guys, we're seeing a lot of repeat questions here that we've already answered.
I know. I do want to answer them.
We do want to answer a lot of these, but we also don't, like, for the people who've been here for the whole time, we don't want to just keep on repeating things. It's a hard situation. I don't know.
Yeah. Have we thought about? Danny's asking if we thought about creating a video outdoors, like going to the mall or a day in the life kind of thing. We've done a little bit of like a couple little vlogs. Like we did like a buying ugly Christmas sweaters thing, and we did like a Maker Faire vlog from back in the day. So we might do more of that kind of stuff as like bonus videos.
But I think that we might need to rearrange like what the point of the vlog is, because I think that like when we were doing vlogs in the past, we were trying to be informational. Like we went here, we did this, and we try to share interesting, funny stories and stuff too. But I think that we might need to switch up like how we film it, more in the moment, more about like
I think it's more like
fun things, or I don't know.
I feel like we did that in the later ones, like in the Christmas sweater one.
Oh, the Christmas sweater! I felt good about that.
Yeah, but I think
like the one where we went to California and the one we went to Maker Faire, those were kind of like I kind of see those were good story time videos, but they weren't. I don't know. They just didn't have like a strong identity. I think that they. Sorry, go for it.
I think we might do more stuff like that if there's more of a demand for it, and we still might do it like as bonus videos on the side here and there if we have time for it. The main reason we don't is there seems to be more of a demand for like the project based ones.
Yeah.
And we really like doing both types. But if it seems like people like the projects more, but if there's enough people asking for more vloggy stuff, we'll definitely do it because we like doing that kind of stuff too.
It was really fun. It was
It's
very
super
enjoyable
fun.
to do.
Super fun. And we can do a vlog we can film it in a day. You know, projects take so many days
So
to
many
film.
days.
It's like so much work.
So many days.
But yeah,
So is YouTube your career? Yes. It's our full-time jobs.
full-time job.
And
And we love it.
And we love it. It's going really well.
Ooh, I do want to try tinted Shishugi one like Johnny Builds.
Yeah.
That stuff is awesome.
I'm just laughing at my cable.
Oh yeah, Evan's cable is green, so it picks up the green screen.
Yes. So we got a question about hanging out with Modern Rogue guys. It was so much fun. They are just so genuine people.
Yeah, they're awesome.
And we actually learned a lot watching them film and seeing their method for filming and stuff.
Midori Joker asked advice on how to start a channel and getting over embarrassment. The how to start a channel part is so big we can't talk about it like concisely, but in terms of getting over embarrassment, I think like try filming stuff without the intention of putting it online. Just pretend like no one's ever going to see this but you, and film it and edit it together, and don't like judge it before you edit it, because a lot of times we'll film something and I'm like,
during the filming we have doubts.
Yeah, I'm like, we were so awkward, this was terrible, and then you cut out the pauses and add some like derpy music in the background, you're like, yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, that's
you know?
good.
So film it without the intention of showing everyone, because that'll take a lot of the pressure off, and then don't judge it till you edit it.
There's another thing that you can do. You can just not show your face.
You can also just not show your face.
Not even put your voice in. Like find what makes you unique and kind of lean into that, and lean into your comfort zone too. Or you know what? If you like find that you like being awkward on camera, then lean into that.
Yeah,
you know
just be awkward.
Like, who knows? Because like you
probably
know,
gonna be a lot of people that relate.
yeah, like embrace that or talk about that, or find the story that resonates with you and build a group around that. Let's see.
Oh man.
What advice would you give to our younger selves? Would just tell them to start a YouTube channel earlier.
Start earlier.
That's not the best advice for all sorts of people, but for us, yes.
Yeah, start a YouTube channel earlier. Start dating earlier.
Yeah.
we were friends for 5 years before we started dating.
Yeah, we could just tell ourselves like if we could give advice directly to ourselves, it'd be that. What about give younger people advice in general? That's harder. That's more pressure.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard because it depends on the person. I think like don't be afraid to like pursue alternative things.
Oh yeah. Just be yourself and don't worry about that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm giving advice based on our own advice.
We were both very awkward people at some point in our lives.
Well,
like in high school
I'm
and
giving
stuff.
different advice than you are.
Oh.
I'm saying don't be afraid to like go off the beaten path in terms of like your life path, because I was very like, okay, you go to high school, you go to college, you get a job, you do the things, and I would not have seen myself like going off into YouTube land necessarily, but I think like there's more and more opportunities that are off the beaten path, and when you're younger, it's a good time to try those things out and experiment and see if you like it. And if you don't, there's always traditional jobs,
Yeah. So we got a question about epoxy and how much does it cost to make certain things. So I'd say for this big, huge table right here, where like it's an inch thick of epoxy, 6 feet long. This was a whole gallon of epoxy. So that was, I think, $120 worth of epoxy for this.
It was 180 because it was slow cure.
Oh, 180.
The fast cure stuff is about half the price, but we did slow cure because we were pouring so thick.
So something big like this, it's pretty expensive. But for things like the resin geode, I think that we could probably do. We could do a lot of resin geodes
Yeah, with
for
a gallon.
a single gallon.
Yeah, it's
'cause
hard to know because it's
pretty
like
thin.
yeah.
But I'd say maybe $10 to $15
Worth of epoxy and
worth
and
of
a geode.
epoxy for a geode.
Yeah, like it's not that
Something
expensive.
like that. Yeah.
Epoxy is expensive because you have to buy a large quantity at a time.
And if you buy a small quantity, it is really expensive.
But if you buy a gallon, you can spread that out into a lot of projects.
I do love that zoom.
Everyone loves the Zoom. So Kate is asking, is it hard to keep moving like the camera, the lights, editing green screen stuff, and like all the different editing and production stuff we do? It is kind of hard. It's gotten less hard because we've like gotten lighting set up in our garage. So we used to film with daylight because like sunlight, we'd have the garage door open all the time because the lighting in our garage was so bad.
Yep.
And every scene would look different because sometimes the sun would be behind a cloud and then it would come out and we'd be super blown out, and it was what it was. But it's gotten a lot faster. We kind of divide and conquer. So like when we're filming something, Evan usually has like in his head, he's concentrating on like, okay, what's the next step that needs to be done for the project? Like, what are the potential fail points at each, at each step? And I'm kind of keeping track of what shot do we just get? What shot do we need to get? Is this going to be a montage or is this going to be like a talking break? So I keep like a rolling count of what the edit is. You keep kind of a rolling count of the project. Are you checking to see if our audio is out of sync?
No, we're good.
Okay,
it's,
cool.
it's holding good. It's holding
Cool.
good. Everything is going well, which is pretty awesome.
So like dividing and conquering helps. So usually I'm a little bit more on the end of like making sure we have the lighting and the cameras and stuff like that we need.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a good question from Ken Cohen. Of all of the products you made, what were the best sellers? The smallest, cheapest things.
Yep, ornaments.
Ornaments.
Christmas ornaments.
Christmas
bestsellers.
ornaments. Oh man, we just made some Texas topographical ornaments. And for anyone who does 3D printing, you guys know the smaller it is, it prints so much faster. Like time, because if you double the size of something, that's 8 times the. It takes 8 times longer if you double the size.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's volume based. I don't know. So it's like, or the scale.
Yeah.
So small things printed really fast. We could print a whole bunch of them, and they sold like hotcakes because they were more affordable. I mean, impulse buys are a great thing, and you can go in different directions with your products. But in terms of the best sellers, yeah, and also the deer sold pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
but
long
shipping them was troublesome.
Tiny Tater Tot is asking how long do we think we're going to be on YouTube?
I think hopefully forever.
I mean, I don't want to say forever, but indefinitely.
I think that this can be our career.
I think
Going forward.
I think,
but also it's like YouTube is a tough thing because we really like YouTube and we like YouTube in general, but we like just being internet people. Just
yeah,
people
that's
on
why
the internet.
I don't want to say like forever because you don't know. I mean, I don't know if YouTube's going to be around in like 20 years.
Or who knows what the next YouTube is. Google might start a new service, kill off YouTube. you know?
But I see us continuing like down the path of content creation in general, and like maybe it'll evolve and rebalance. Like right now we do a mixture of YouTube, podcast, and streaming.
Yeah.
And we'll kind of see in the future if maybe for a while we do more of one than the others, or we have to pause one for a while. But I see us continuing down the path of content creation indefinitely because we really like it. It's super fun.
Yeah. Is it worth sacrificing your artist ideas in order to make stuff that is marketable?
Ira, thank you for the tip for buying more epoxy to make stuff that's marketable. I mean, it depends on like what your goal is.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not sure what you mean by sacrificing your artist ideas, but I think that embrace your artist ideas so that things are more, unless like you're off in the boondocks, kind of, maybe, I don't know, but.
Well, I think I think sometimes having the constraint of like this has to be marketable, meaning it has to be like something people want. It has to be something you can ship. It has to be something you can make, and like at whatever cost it is for you to make and still make money off of it. And those are all constraints, but a lot of times those constraints can make you more creative. So you just have to channel your artisticness.
Mm-hmm.
you know, into those constraints. Or you can just go the route of like, here's the stuff that I'm, you know, selling to make money off of, and here's the stuff I just want to do for fun.
Yeah.
You know?
We've gotten a lot of questions about the equipment we use. In every video, we list the equipment beneath it.
We
so,
do.
So on our podcast and on our Twitch streams, we list all of the microphone stuff, like the cable, the mixer, the mics, all of that jazz. So if you want to see everything that we do or everything that we use, it's either in the description of our videos, or if you want to look at the mic and live streaming setup, we have that in a podcast. And in the video about the desk build, we kind of go through everything.
And same with like tools in general, if y'all are curious about like the brands of tools we use and stuff like that. We always put links to all the tools and materials we use in the video descriptions. And we kind of have like a mix. We don't have like a favorite single brand.
Yeah, and I think that we got asked a question by Danny G about, was there a video that we couldn't upload because of a corrupted file? No, we've been able to upload all of our videos, but we have lost files.
Yeah, we've lost files.
Strange.
Yeah, after they were uploaded, so at least
they're
the
just
video's
like
uploaded.
gone.
Yeah, but we have some that are just gone, which it's a shame because the very first video we filmed, we lost the original files for that, which sucks.
That's
because
so sad.
There's so many like
awkward
outtakes.
things. I would have loved to like show them to you guys at some point.
I know.
But they're just gone.
So awkward and so bad. And
they're just gone.
now. I know,
So sad. Well, so what we're getting another storage solution, and we're gonna have even more backups, and it's gonna be offsite and all that jazz. All of the backups.
Fun Kiss Artistic Creations is asking, do we aspire to be on network TV at some point? The answer is not really.
We've had some potential opportunities. Oh, there's a podcast episode
there's
about
a podcast
that.
about a TV show we almost did. But no, we have had some potential opportunities. New member. Thank you, Dhruv Chadna. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. We've had some opportunities. It's weird. We always get weird vibes when we're talking to production companies, and you do like a sizzle reel that they record, and they ask you certain questions, and you answer them, and then they say, no, can you answer it in this way instead? And you're like, okay, I guess I can rephrase that. That's not what I would have said. And it makes sense. You know, they're trying to get the footage they need to like pitch you to a network to fill a certain role. But it's very hard. Like on YouTube, we can just be ourselves and do whatever we want. And it's very weird having someone else say, no, you need to say that more excitedly, or you need to be more enthusiastic about this thing you don't actually really care about. And so like we're very hesitant about TV. It would have to be if like the right opportunity came along, we might do it. But otherwise, it's not really worth taking away time from the thing we really like to do, which is do our own thing. So.
Yeah. All right. Tips for cat hairs and epoxy. We don't have any, but if you guys have any, please
shave cats.
let us know.
That's it. That's what Akiara says. Just shave the cats.
Oh man. But I think we need to come up with...
Supervisor, that would not be a good look for her.
No. She is beautiful because of her extreme fluffs. But I think that there is like almost like, I wonder if there's like some way we can get like a static electricity generator above our resin things that'll like attract all small particulates to it.
But what if it gets too full and then they start dropping?
What if it
really
loses
bad.
power? It's gathered everything and then it falls.
It just drops it on it. No, we're just right now we just get tweezers.
Yeah, we just tweeze it.
We have like one sacrificial epoxy pair of tweezers that we get all the hairs out with.
So have any of your projects been stolen and passed off by others as theirs? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And they've sold them too.
Yeah. I think it's totally cool for people to like. I mean, we want people to make our projects.
We do.
We want
so much.
We want people to make our projects because like we're putting them out there for people to get cool ideas from. There was one instance where someone took one of our designs and started selling it, and we were like, "Hey, would you mind putting a link to our video?" And he wouldn't.
Or just credit us.
Or just credit us.
And I understand, like, I totally understand, like, sometimes they might get sent, like, a manufacturer might get sent an image of one of our designs and be asked to make it.
Well, that's what he said it was, but then, and so we're like, oh, no, totally fine. We understand. Someone saw the video, asked if you could make this. You didn't know where it came from. But then he started, like, making them frequently, And so we're like, hey, would you mind like putting a link to our channel or something? But
Yeah.
and I mean, it's not that big of a deal, honestly.
It's not that big of a deal. I mean, we're in it to
That's
make
not where
content.
we. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I think it was more like because he lied about it. Then it
Yeah.
became like it's the principle of the thing.
it's the principle. It was the
and
principle
we
of
were
the
like,
thing.
yeah, but
And also,
it
I
really
think it was
doesn't
the
matter.
first time that it happened to us. Like, it
Yeah.
was that time and everything.
yeah.
So
So
it was
and
like,
we were still like pretty small
yeah.
of a channel.
Anyways.
Yeah, but it really doesn't
it
you know. it's not
doesn't
that
bother
big of a
us
thing.
long term. It was just like that one time. I don't know why. It was just like something about it just rubbed me the wrong way and everything.
Yeah.
But let's see. Do you have a Discord server? No, I think it's a similar reason for why we don't start our cat Instagram account. It'd just be like another thing that we would feel bad that we weren't partaking in, because we're trying to cut down on anything extraneous that isn't making YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Like
Just 'cause
our
there's not
goal is
time.
just to make as many YouTube videos as possible, and we have all of the ideas. We have so many ideas, and we just want to make all of them. And I think that's the main thing that we want to focus on.
Yeah.
But for Twitch, it is Evan and Caitlin. I think every handle we have is Evan and Caitlin in all of the places.
Yeah.
Someone asked about our Twitch handle.
Oh yeah, Evan and Caitlin everywhere. We like
Yeah.
snagged up those handles.
Yeah, we got them. We got them as fast as we could.
Yeah. Have we tried a stained glass project? We do have a stained glass project in mind coming up soon, but it's not actually going to be glass. Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So tips for people starting small scale manufacturing from their own house. I'd say one of the biggest things is, oopsie, I clicked away from the chat. I think one of the biggest things is find something that will scale in general. I mean, I know that's kind of a hard thing to kind of generalize, but like for us, it was 3D printing and CNC. We can scale that really easily because we can just buy more 3D printers, buy another CNC machine, and then we can
But
get going more.
if digital fabrication isn't your thing, another way to scale is to do things you create with molds.
Yeah.
So like we used to do concrete coasters. We have a video that's called like making 80 coasters, and we did use digital fabrication in it, but you can do it without digital fabrication. But basically you invest the time in making a bunch of molds, and then you can make a huge batch of things all at once you have those molds. So that's another way to like scale when
Yeah.
you're just working out of your house.
Yeah. Oh,
Are
sorry.
we in touch with other local creators in our area? If so, do you collaborate? There's not a ton in Houston. We do have one other content creator friend in Houston. She's awesome, and we've done like some collaborations for her channel, or we did one, but then like the audio ended up being super super bad, so it didn't make it. But her name is Stephanie. Her channel is, I think, Stephanie Explains It All, or
Yeah.
she's Stephanie Gigi on Instagram, but she does like coding and software and electronics and 3D printing, and she does a lot of really cool stuff. She's awesome.
Yeah. And there are other makers, I think, in the area. But
Yeah.
I think the main thing is like it's tough because we're
so in our own zone all the
we're
time.
so in our zone, and I'm not trying to say that we're overwhelmed, but like especially recently we've been overwhelmed.
Yeah, we've been a little
Overwhelmed. We're actually going to be taking so this coming Friday is we're going to be releasing a video, the door video, but the Friday after we're going to not release a video and try to get ahead. We're going to keep on working at the same rate, but we just want to like get our lead back up, and that's the only way we can do it right now. Just because, I mean, we kind of did this on ourselves because we're like, okay, we figured out how to make YouTube videos. Now let's add a podcast, and let's stream on Twitch, and let's do some live streams.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like
Yeah.
there's only two of us, and there's only so many hours in a day. So it kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the thing that's helped us relax a little bit and being able to take a week where we don't release a video is we just know that we're doing this for the long term. We want it to be sustainable for us. And you know, if it takes us a little bit longer to make another video, that's okay. You know, we're gonna get around to it, and
Yeah.
we're gonna keep on making videos for a long
It's been
period
very
of time.
hard to convince ourselves of that, but I think we're
We're
finally at a
still
point
trying to convince
where
ourselves.
we can take a break 1 week from doing a video, from posting a video,
And we're still
we'll still be doing it, but we just
we're not
won't post
actually
it.
going to take a break.
Yeah, no, it's not actually a break. We're still going to be working.
But
We'll get ahead on video so we don't have to be so rushed.
we find that we just are less tired, happier. We enjoy the process more. I think that things end up better and more polished when we don't have that looming deadline over us. Because,
related. Oh, sorry, you had.
Yeah, because like when we're just like in the thick of things and we just got to go. I mean, when we've committed to a sponsor to publish a video by a certain date around a certain subject or whatever, you know, we just don't want to burn that bridge by being late. And plus, we're just kind of, we take those commitments very seriously, you know? So it's just work. You know, if we have to stay up through the night, if we have to stay up late, if we have to wake up early, if we have to eat out more than we'd like, kind of stuff like that. That's the main thing. But it's like, we just got to do it.
So a related question from JK. Do you believe in sacrificing sleep for work? In theory,
I've gotten a few comments about how I look tired. I am. I didn't sleep like much at all last night.
Yeah. And so in theory, we do try to sleep. We try not to sacrifice
It's important
sleep.
to us.
It is important to us. Often in our videos, we are staying up late to finish a project.
Yeah.
And it's usually because we underestimated how long something would take. And so like we don't sacrifice sleep just for the sake of getting ahead on stuff. There are some times where we've committed to a deadline, and if we get in over our heads, we will stay up. But we don't like to do it, and we don't want to do it, and we really like sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
A few people have asked. The most recent was Christine. Do you plan on making any cat trees or other cat furniture?
oh yeah, I think so.
We
Yeah.
have made a cat scratching post for her. That was an early video. We made like a modern scratching post. And I think it would be fun. We have one project that we have planned. It just doesn't have like a date yet. Is a catio, which is like it's like a little patio for your cat that you stick outside of your window, and it's for like indoor cats so they can hang out outside. And so we do have that planned. We just don't know when it's going to be, but I'm excited. I think she's going to love it.
What's the weirdest place you've been recognized in public? I think the normal places are like Rockler and Lowe's, because that's where other makers are. So we've been recognized there a few times. But I think the weirdest place we've been recognized in public is we were in California for Maker Faire, and someone recognized us at an In-N-Out, which is In-N-Out.
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 And we assumed like, oh, are you here for Maker Faire too? And then he was like, oh no, I just live here.
Yeah.
And so that was weird because we like assumed that he was here for Maker Faire. And we were also like at In-N-Out with our suitcases, because our tradition is like anytime we fly to California, we go straight from the airport directly to In-N-Out.
Yep. Pretty much
so we
every
had our
time.
suitcases and stuff. It was just like random. But yeah, every now and then we'll get recognized. But it's not like a ton. It happens more at like if we're at Lowe's or, you know, like places where other people who watch maker videos would be.
Yeah. All right. What happened to the concrete planter? They still exist.
Yeah.
They still work. One plant, I think it's the plant that like is very susceptible to root rot. That died.
Yeah. The succulent died. The aloe vera plant lived and outgrew it, and now it's in a bigger pot.
It was very healthy when it was in the pot. And then it got too big for the pot. We put it outside, and now it's done.
No. That's another one.
Oh,
the
that's
one in
another
the
one.
kitchen is the one from the planter. It's still doing good.
Oh, still doing well. Okay.
Yeah.
Just in general, it's like...
My other aloe I killed.
In general, we just don't have time to maintain plants. I mean,
I
like...
should just put fake
looks-
plants in them.
They look nice. I mean, we watched Jenna's like plant video.
They look
thing.
so nice.
They
Yeah,
look so nice.
very nice.
I'd love to have that, but that's like checking all of the plants in the morning with the like moisture meter and like misting them and stuff. Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's so much work.
In-N-Out sponsor. Yeah, In-N-Out hit us up. That would be a good one.
Oh my gosh.
Apparently
yes.
one is coming to Houston one day. One day.
So we've gotten asked if what if one day we have no more ideas? That's not something that we've ever really worried about. We have, let me see how many entries we have in our idea list. 86 in our
And that's
like
not even all of them.
86 in our like things we really want to do, and then we have probably another
200 more.
200 more
Not
in
even
our
exaggerating.
in our idea generation list.
Yep.
And we keep on adding to it faster than we can take them down or like knock them out. Do
Yeah.
them. Words. And even like it'd be nice to go back and revisit some old projects or something like that, you know? Do some things in the past that we've done again.
Oh yeah, like a redo.
Yeah, like or like, you know, propane cannon part 2.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know?
That'd be cool. I think it might be a cool E&K Tuesday. Oh, a couple of people have suggested this, but like kind of show some of the projects like that we did a while back now and like how we still like them, how we would have done them differently, stuff
Mhm.
like that, you know?
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
So Benjamin was saying he really likes the LEDs in the table, and do you think that we'll ever incorporate electronics, wiring, lighting, etc., into your builds? I think so. This was really fun.
This was really fun.
like,
We'll
people have
probably
been saying,
start
like,
light.
People have been saying like add LEDs, and we're like, yeah, LEDs do make things look cooler.
They do make things look cooler, yeah. I do
No,
wanna...
like we want to keep it classy.
Classy
LEDs.
LEDs.
Yeah. So we have revealed a little bit about some upcoming projects. We talked about the
resin cubes, the
we talked about the
catio,
door.
stained glass.
Yeah, so we have given some away.
Yes.
But we don't want to give too much away just in case we end up not doing them in a while.
Yeah, I mean sometimes we don't do them, or sometimes it takes like months.
Or like it takes a long time to line up the sponsor, because we have some videos we have a perfect sponsor for, and we want to wait until we can line up with them. You know?
Yeah. How do you decide which project? This is kind of related. Joseph asked, how do you decide which project you do next? Is it based off what you need, or is it predetermined order? It's often based off.
It's three things. Three things.
It's either what
sponsor,
we need,
what we need, or what we're just super enthusiastic about.
Yeah, and when we can line up those things,
that'd be awesome.
Then that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. So we got a question about organizing our ideas and how we keep track of everything and stuff like that.
Airtable. We use an app called Airtable.
Yeah.
Bob from I Like to Make Stuff got us hooked on it, and it's awesome. We also use another app called Todoist, which is just like a to-do list app. So those two in conjunction, because we both have access to them. It's automatically updated. If we update it on one of our phones, it's updated on all of our computers and our phones. And so that's how we stay organized.
Yeah.
It's very necessary for us.
And for Airtable, it's basically just like a super Excel spreadsheet with all these links and everything between it. So it's like you kind of need to mold it to your needs. But for us, we were able to kind of like have a projects list, a companies, a contacts, deliverables, and we link all of those together, and you can put labels and sort them. So it's like we weren't able to find a project management app that was 100% ideal for us. So we kind of made our own within Airtable.
Have you ever, Danny asked, have you ever created anything that was asked by a fan or someone close to you? We've made stuff for family and friends before. So in the summer, last summer, we made like a giant wine rack for my parents. When we first got started, we made a rolling pantry for one of my friends. We made a couple things that we sent to other YouTubers. So yeah, we've done like a handful of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure as we make more and more stuff, we're gonna have less needs of our own in our house, and we'll start like pawning stuff off on people. We already kind of do that with our family. We're like, oh, this will be a Christmas present.
Yeah, here you go. So we ask, is your new desk still organized? It is.
Oh, it is.
The new
it's
desk
so nice.
is doing really well.
So good. We've zoomed out a few times to show it. We won't do it again.
It's nice.
It's really nice.
But the new desk, we're like, because it's like a single purpose desk kind of right now. It's like streaming.
Yeah.
Streaming and podcasting. But like that's what it's used for. The other desk is our main desk, and that's where kind of I pile some stuff every now and then.
Yeah.
So we've gotten a question about how do we model our prints and CNC things to make sure the dimensions are right. Digital calipers are one of my favorite things.
We use digital calipers for like everything.
I use digital calipers for every other project or something like that. I don't know. It's pretty great. They're pretty great.
Yeah. How early did we start working with sponsors? Very early. We were maybe at 30,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
We weren't getting paid very much because, our views weren't crazy, but we thought that it would be good practice just to start early, because then if there are lessons to be learned, we're learning them when it's lower risk and lower cost. I wouldn't say, I think like you should always prioritize growth over sponsorship in the early days. And so we just did a couple to kind of test the waters, and we did them with like projects we were already going to do. But yeah, we started pretty early, like earlier than most, I think.
So JK asked, do you think you've gotten better at not procrastinating? I don't think we ever really procrastinated.
No, we weren't. I mean, you used to procrastinate like in college.
Yeah.
Not me.
But I mean, like, I never really procrastinated with stuff I was excited about.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't want to say anything bad about like homework, because homework is good, but like, you know, I'm sure lots of people can relate. It's sometimes hard to see the value in the moment. Whereas with this, it's very
Hey,
easy
Laura.
to see the value of this.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So our biggest goal isn't like a milestone. It's not an income. It's not anything. Our biggest goal is like a lifestyle that I think I want to reach
Yeah.
with Caitlin and with our lives, so that we are properly balanced with being creatively fulfilled, being financially sustainable, and having our life balance a little bit better. And we're getting closer. We're getting closer and closer.
Yeah.
But we don't really have like any number goal. It's just a life goal.
Yeah.
Life balance.
Yeah. Just getting to the point where we're less stressed and, you know, like we really like what we're doing, but we're not at a good work-life balance right now. So
Yeah.
that's what we need to get better.
Yeah. Let's see. Welcome everyone who's new. Thanks for joining our stream.
Yes.
And how did I learn 3D printing, 3D modeling, and all of that jazz? From Ziad. I actually learned that in college in my engineering classes. I learned in it's a program that's not even around anymore with that name, but it's like Wildfire, Pro Engineer Wildfire or something. It's now like Creo, I believe. And then I learned SolidWorks at my last job in engineering, and that was my like day to day. I was in SolidWorks every single day. And then I've transitioned into Fusion 360. But I mean, you know, I it's not that. I don't want to say it's not that hard, but it's just something you have to jump into to start investing time into it and practicing, and you'll learn it before you know it. I mean, you can watch some great videos, some great tutorials online. I thought about trying to make some of our own, but it was hard to make it interesting.
Yeah. I think that is one thing that we've learned with our channel is we have a lot more fun if the video is more about just like hanging out with us while we make stuff, and it's kind of more casual than if we're doing like step-by-step tutorials, which is when we started, it was a little bit more tutorial based. So it's hard to do like a CAD tutorial because it's harder to make that feel like you're just hanging out with us. So I mean, maybe one day we'll figure it out. We kind of were able to do it with a cam tutorial, but even it's just a lot of work to make it like a fun video as well as an informative video when it's so information dense and it's like a lot of screen captures.
Well, because like if you go too far into entertainment, it's not useful as a tutorial, and if you go straight up tutorial, then it's boring.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not really what our channel's about. We have done some live streams on Twitch where like when Evan's 3D modeling stuff, we'll just stream and like
then it's just chatting in real
chit-chat
time
and hang out, and you get to see what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've thought about maybe doing some when I'm like doing some photoshopping for like room makeovers and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's maybe a better place for it than a video for our channel.
We have a good question for Caitlin. Is there any way to do a good art but with cheap supplies? Caitlin has been doing art since you were how young?
I'm pretty young. I've been doing it for a long time.
Like I'll say 4.
Yeah, like a really long time.
Really long time. She used to do art in MS Paint.
I did.
Digital art in MS Paint.
I used to make Zelda fan art in MS Paint.
And it was good.
It was good.
They're up there.
So MS Paint. No, there are like, so for digital art, there are like free programs now. I've been spoiled with Photoshop mainly because that's what I taught myself originally.
GIMP and Paint.net are both good alternatives to Photoshop.
You say you like Paint.net better.
I like Paint.net. Now, I used to not like GIMP because of their interface, but I looked at it recently and it looks better. I haven't used it myself recently, but it looks more usable.
And in terms of like non-digital mediums, I think like watercolor is a good one because you can get really cheap watercolor and it still looks cool.
Yeah.
The alcohol inks, honestly, we use are pretty
but
cheap.
I think one of the cheapest things, pen and pencil, and paper.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's amazing ballpoint pen art. Even
So
Sharpie and paper. You know, so I think that just start with those basics, and that might be a good way to find some of your style, your drawing style, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, so much of Caitlin's art in the beginning was.
It's all Zelda fan art.
Well, like you mainly did pencil and colored pencils.
It was like pencils and colored pencils, and then eventually I got some Prismacolors for a present.
Yeah.
And then I got MS Paint. And then I got Photoshop.
Yeah. So yeah, you can start with very little and still make really impressive things. Yeah, and it's a lot of practice. It's just practice. Everyone wants to see the Zelda art and the MS Paint art. Should I grab one? No? Is it a
No,
little
because
embarrassing?
no, it's just they're buried in boxes.
I know where they are. Aren't they just right up there?
No.
No, they're no longer there. You
No,
moved them. Oh,
they're
yeah.
buried in boxes in the
Oh,
other
yeah.
closet. Yeah, they would take too long to get, but maybe one day
Maybe
we'll
one
have
day.
them prepared. Still show and tell. Was it harder? Danny asked, was it harder to get to 1,000 subscribers or to get where we are now?
I think the biggest slog is when things slow down relatively. And we had a few lucky breaks early on, I feel.
I feel like 1,000 wasn't too bad, but getting to like
10,000?
or like
100?
100
100 was pretty bad.
was long. 10 actually, I felt like
Well, didn't
'cause
we have the planter go
the
during then?
planter, the planter, the
Panther.
the self-watering planter took off right around the time where we were at like 10, 15,000.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a boost right around then. I think 100,000 took a long time. I think that was the
I think
toughest
that was
mile.
probably the toughest.
Like
yeah.
this, and it, there is still definitely merit or like truth in the whole like your first 100 is the hardest, and then the first 1,000 is the next hardest, and then 10,000 and 100,000. I do generally think that's true. I think for us, we just happened to have a couple boosts right around those earlier milestones that helped it not seem so bad.
I think one of the biggest tips that we've, one of the biggest lessons we've learned over our 2 years of YouTube, it's not like, it seems like a long time and a short time at the same time. And there's people who have been doing this for 8 years.
Yeah.
But 2 years also, it's like, that's kind of decent now. 2 years.
2 years. I know.
So, okay, over our 2 years, we've noticed that like YouTube growth is just sporadic. That's just how it is. And when it's low, you can't get too depressed because it's going to pick back up again. And when it goes high, you just can't get used to it, because if you do, you're going to be depressed when it returns back to normal.
Yeah, and like right now, our desk video and a few of the recent ones have been really taking off. And
Yeah.
like I'm noticing, there's so many people in the chat saying that they just found our channel and hi, welcome everybody. You guys are so awesome. But it's also
Yeah,
like
thank you so much for joining.
yeah, but it's also like, oh man, I know like growth is gonna go back down to like normal at some point. It has to, and so you have to like mentally prepare yourself to not have as good of numbers as you had the week before.
Yeah.
So it's all like an emotional roller coaster, and you have to adjust your expectations a lot.
And for everyone leaving, we are going to put the archive of this up on our channel under a playlist. We probably won't list it as a main video, but we'll put it under a playlist called Live Stream Archive.
Yeah, so if you go to our playlist, it'll be with the other live stream archives.
Yeah. If we had to do a world tour, what would it be about? JK had a good question there. That just sounds fun. What would we do a world tour around? A world tour
I
of
don't know.
resin workshops.
Yeah, resin workshops. That would be the most fun.
Caitlin's like Caitlin, I love resin too, but Caitlin's like, if she had to choose one thing, I think it'd be resin.
If I could only work with one like material being
Like
my
as
main
the
material.
main thing.
Yeah. At least right now. There's been a few people asking recently. We answered it in the beginning, but since that was in the beginning, of like who we would collaborate with. What other YouTuber?
Christine.
Yeah,
And
Christine.
Ban.
Yeah, Christine from Simply Neological and Ban.
I know we mentioned it before. Collab for people you want to hang out with.
Yeah,
not for,
I just think that
for
they would be
sub-growth.
so cool to hang out with.
We just like them.
I know.
But also, it's like, I think that like we're similar people.
I know. I'm
It's
like,
like
I too am a sock, and I love
the-
cats, and I need my tea.
Yeah, and like, but also it's things like, not that we're trying to make assumptions, but we like just like being at home, working on our thing.
Yeah,
There's-
being home buddies.
being home buddies, and like, we're extroverted introverts. Kind
Yeah.
of, it's like there's just a lot of
hang out with
a lot
other
of things.
extroverted introverts.
Yes, and like talk about YouTube stuff and everything.
Yeah, it's
I
fun,
don't know.
and especially getting the perspective of someone who's in a totally different world on YouTube. That'd
Yeah.
be so interesting.
It's really interesting.
Yes, our cat does have. Well, she has more than 2 names. She's got a lot of names, but Moki and Jube are 2 of them.
Have we? Allie White's asking if we've already brought out the Lady Jesus beard. We haven't brought it out. It's nearby. but it's not out. So we don't have a gym at home,
No.
but we've actually been liking just watching YouTube workout videos that don't require much supplies.
Yeah.
Just
We have like some weights and some like yoga mats and
stuff like
basic
that,
stuff.
and that, you know,
but
in
we
general,
don't really work out. We should.
hey, it's on our calendar. It's bugging us, and we are gonna get it.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be time to take like a last few questions. I think we've
Yeah.
been streaming for like 2 hours.
Yeah, we've been streaming for 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So maybe we
man.
should do this stream more. I mean, this is fun. This is a
This
good
is
pace
fun.
of questions. I mean, it's a lot
Yeah.
to keep up with, but it's great that we can just like kind of scroll to anywhere and we just see a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And it's pretty fun. Yeah.
Yeah, this is really cool. I'm sorry we weren't able to get everyone's questions. It was going by pretty fast, so I know we missed a lot.
Yeah. But if you rewatch the thing again,
The 2 hour
we might have
stream.
answered it earlier. I
Oh,
don't know.
this is a good question. Christopher asked if you can make videos about other interests you have. What would you make videos about?
Okay, you go first.
Okay. Mine's so dumb. It's just like it's indicative of the videos I like to watch on YouTube, but I would totally do like my boyfriend does my makeup videos and stuff. I just love those. It's like Jenna Marbles and Simply Nailogical type stuff.
I think for me, it's very impractical, but what I'd want to do is, I mean, you know, it's like other channels do it, like Mark Rober or, Michael Reeves or something. They like build a whole project and then kind of explain it afterwards.
Or like Simone.
Or Simone.
Yeah.
I just want to disappear for a month and do something crazy. You know, like use some of my engineering knowledge and skills to build something big or massive or dangerous or powerful or like unique or something like that, and then just show it at the end. And you know, I'll try to capture videos of tests and reactions and predictions and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, just do something big like that. But
Yeah.
it's just impractical right now for our YouTube trajectory and what's best for our YouTube channel.
Yeah, it'd be a big shift because it would be like going dark for a month and then
Yeah.
having one video.
One video.
I mean, and that totally works for people. Like you said, Mark Rober, that's what he does. He does 12 videos a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe,
Maybe one day. Maybe
one
that'll
day.
be our retirement.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like in our retirement, we'll just make one video a month and it'll be something ridiculous. It'll be like old man Evan and Kaylin just doing crazy things in their barn, you
Yeah.
know?
And me trying to like follow a Jenna Marbles hair tutorial.
Oh, that'd be so awesome. That'd be so awesome. Maybe one day.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. All right, guys. Well, this was really fun. We'll
was
maybe
super
have to do
fun.
this again. And thanks again for tuning in. And we'll see you next
Yeah,
time.
we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for celebrating our 2-year channelversary with us. This was super fun. Hopefully we'll do it again before another year is up.
I just realized the description has been wrong this whole time. I never changed the description.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right.
Professional
well,
YouTubers here.
we did that right. All right. See you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.